this, guys!
These are some of the funniest fake Minecraft speedruns. Like, comment, and subscribe. This speedrun starts off and there is already something fake about it. No, it is not their hotbar. It's not their timer at the top left of the screen. You're gonna have to take a closer look to see what's fake about it. Yep, everything is normal here. The speedrunner just broke a single oak block on a tree. If you blink, then you must have missed it. There is a very sudden cut, and the speedrunner expected us to not notice this. After that single cut, it is very clear that the speedrunner is in a completely different area, most likely to get an advantage like spawning closer to a village. So the speedrunner does get 5 oak logs, they hit a pig, getting 3 raw pork chops, and would you look at that, they are very close to a village. How lucky. There's something very unusual about this speedrun though. The speedrunner mounts a horse, hits an octopus, and then wait a second, they just stop moving. Then they go into the menu, and I could be wrong, but I have reason to believe that the speedrunner is going to be cheating so much that they are trying to throw us off of our trail. So keep an eye out for anything that is fake. They go into a villager house opening a chest, and they get 10 apples and 4 bread. They then proceed to break 5 beds, and make a mental note of that number for later. You'll see why soon. Now this next clip is very, very important. Not only is there a second village in the distance, and a ruined nether portal, how lucky. Watch this next segment, and I bet you won't notice what's wrong with it. Yeah, did you notice it? At first glance, it appears as if this speedrunner has jumped, stopped briefly, and then continued running, right? But if we zoom in on the top right corner of the screen and go frame by frame, you can see that out of nowhere, 2 of these clouds turns into 3. So I could be wrong, but I have strong reason to believe that the speedrunner made a cut and was doing a ton of goofy nonsense in the background. And you will find out very soon what they did. So naturally, of course, the speedrunner runs over to this ruined nether portal, and right off the bat, take a look at the screen on this freeze frame and tell me if you notice what has changed. Well, remember the number I told you earlier? 5 beds? Yeah, somehow they have 9 beds now. This guy has got me going like a detective. The rest of the speedrun is like this. Tons of faking, and they're pretty clever at hiding it. Now let's take a look at the items in the chest. 3 gold ingots, 3 flint, horse armor, a golden axe, a golden sword, and a fire charge. Remember these items for later. What happens next is going to shock you. The speedrunner just does nothing. They close the chest, opening it again. Their timer is running. They are wasting time. Then all of a sudden, they look over to the right, look back to the left, look up, look down, and then they open the chest again. But hang on a second. Let me play that clip one more time in case you didn't see it. If we go frame by frame, right before they're about to open this chest again, you can see that the speedrunner opened up the chat box. And then on the very next frame, it looks like they just opened the chest again, but they are suddenly selecting apples instead of pork chops. Now take a second look at what's inside the chest. Notice anything different? Yep, that is right. A single obsidian block has appeared out of thin air, which gives me reason to believe that somewhere in that segment, there was a very sly cut. They went into creative mode and put that obsidian block in the chest. Well, get this. The speedrunner takes the items out of the chest, taking their sweet old time, and they use their 2 obsidian blocks to complete the nether portal and light it at a world record pace of 2 minutes and 20 seconds. But hang on a second there, Buster. You missed yet again another fake goof. If I rewind the footage to when the speedrunner first arrived to the ruined nether portal, it is very clear that to the left of them is a crying obsidian block. But then after they take the items out of the chest, somehow that crying obsidian becomes regular obsidian. This guy is gonna try and fake his speedrun, and I am not gonna let him get away with it. Well, they light the nether portal with the fire charge, entering the nether, and everything does seem normal here. They don't have chat disabled, which I think is a good sign. Maybe this guy isn't faking his Minecraft speedrun. Nope, hang on a second. They just cleared their chat history. Yep, they are a big stinky cheater. Now these next few moments, you are really gonna have to pay attention here. Watch this clip, and I hope you'll be able to catch what is fake about it. If you didn't notice, going frame by frame, it is so painfully obvious that the speedrunner made a very subtle cut, trying to make it look like they were moving their camera around, and immediately after that cut, the speedrunner by accident falls into this ditch, then traveling in a very specific direction. And if I freeze frame the speedrun footage right here, and you bring your attention to the bottom left of the screen, yes, I kid you not, by some miracle, they spawn directly above a bastion. And I could be wrong, but I think that sudden cut earlier, the speedrunner could have possibly spawned the bastion beneath them with a command. Or maybe they're just lucky. We'll pay close attention to these next few moments. It is packed with goofy fakeness. The speedrunner takes their oak planks, making a crafting table, exploring the bastion for just a few moments until they come across this single piglin. They get in a vicious battle with this piglin until, I kid you not, the piglin just disappears. Huh? Yes, and then the speedrunner takes one step forward, and if you can't see it, I'm gonna point it out at the bottom of the screen. What in the world did that piglin drop? A netherite chest plate, diamond pickaxe, and 2 golden blocks? In your dreams, buddy. Yes, that cut was painfully obvious. The speedrunner was very clearly trying to hide the fact that they made a cut, and somewhere in between that footage, they dropped golden blocks, netherite gear, and a diamond pickaxe. So the speedrunner turns those golden blocks into 18 golden ingots, and they continue roaming around this bastion until they find themselves cornered by a piglin with a crossbow. The speedrunner has no other choice. They begin throwing their gold ingots to distract this angry piglin from attacking, and the trades look very normal here. 10 nether quartz, and they continue throwing their gold ingots at the piglin until something seems very off. If you didn't notice it, I'll play the clip one more time. Yes, even though going frame by frame, the timer does not change, the top right of the screen looks normal, and even the piglin doesn't look much changed. In a single frame, the speedrunner suddenly has 2 nether brick and a fire charge in their inventory, which begs the question, why would the speedrunner put a cut here? Well, just wait a few seconds and see what happens when the piglin walks away. Yes, that's right. Out of thin air, the piglin drops 8 ender pearls and 2 blaze rods beneath them. How convenient. Look, the speedrunner is clearly cheating here, but I can't quite figure out why they would give themselves such a specific number of items. But don't worry, we're gonna find out later. After the speedrunner gets what they needed from the piglin, they go on a slaughtering rampage. And well, this next moment is just embarrassing. You're gonna make sure you don't miss this one. The speedrunner digs directly up with the hopes of escaping the bastion, but unfortunately, the speedrunner attracts a horde of piglins, and going frame by frame, they are clearly about to die. Well, you know what? Let me just show you the whole clip. It is priceless. Yeah, that's right. The speedrunner made a sudden cut. It is very clear that they died. We don't know for sure, but I have no idea how they would survive that. And they're really playing it off like nothing ever happened. They approach the wall, escaping the bastion, and they do waste a little bit of time trying to find their way back to the nether portal, but keep a close eye on what is happening while the speedrunner is digging through this netherrack. It is very unusual. They are running short on time, quickly approaching 5 minutes, and while they are mining, this happens. In case you didn't catch it, going frame by frame, there is a very obvious cut, and did the speedrunner really think we wouldn't notice this? The amount of netherrack they have in their inventory increases by 7 blocks, and after this painfully obvious cut, just take a wild guess as to where they end up at. Yep, that is right, directly back to the nether portal. What a coincidence. I think we can safely assume they got lost, made a cut, potentially going into spectator mode to figure out where in tarnation they were. Real smooth, buddy. So the speedrunner returns to the overworld. They open the chest. It is empty, as it should be. But again, are they just trying to distract us? Well, the answer to that is yes. Upon re-entering the overworld, the speedrunner is swimming in the ocean back to land, breaking two major rules in the game of Minecraft: digging directly down and digging while they are drowning themselves. Well, after almost dying, they finally get some smarts, equipping their shovel. Wait a second, when did they get a diamond shovel? Can someone fill me in as to when that happened? I am so confused. Well, I guess they have a diamond shovel now. They put a netherrack block above them so that they can breathe. Nice work. And they dig straight down. But only after a few blocks, the speedrunner stops digging down and they face forward. Interesting. Wow, would you look at that? What a good guess. Are those stone brick blocks I see the same ones that appear in a stronghold? What a coincidence. Nope, never mind, I was wrong. Just a fluke, just a false alarm. It doesn't look like the speedrun actually found the stronghold. Nope, hang on a second. Why are they mining this block? Oh no. Is that stone brick? Okay, I was right all along. The speedrunner mined directly into the stronghold. What a lucky guess. The stronghold is right under our nose. And you know what? I'm honestly surprised here. The speedrunner begins mining into what seems like completely random blocks, but what they are actually doing is searching for hidden walls, which are actually a thing in strongholds. Well, after no luck of finding any hidden walls, the speedrunner begins adventuring into what seems like a completely random direction. They would have to get very lucky to find the portal room from here. Are you kidding me? Yes, that is right. The speedrunner finds the portal room just floating in the middle of nowhere, and upon entering the portal room, take a mental note here that they got very unlucky by finding a portal with no eyes in it. Remember that for later. They break the spawner, getting into a vicious battle, eating their steak. Then the speedrunner crafts blaze powder, making 4 eyes of ender, but unfortunately that will not be enough for them to fill the portal with eyes, huh? Oh brother, does someone want to fill me in? Out of nowhere, there must have been a sudden cut because the portal suddenly is filled with 8 eyes. I am so confused. Well, the speedrunner fills the portal with their 4 eyes of ender, doing a 360 into the end portal with style, and upon entering the end, the speedrunner throws their ender pearl onto the end island, and as soon as they land onto the island, take a second to look at the screen and tell me if you notice what just happened. Don't see it? Let me point it out for you. If we go frame by frame, the chat box has completely disappeared. Usually it fades out slowly, and on top of that, do you see what is happening at the top right of their screen? If we zoom in here, it looks like that is endstone, but no, it is very possible that is a pressure plate. Watch this next segment very closely and listen to the audio. I sure hope you notice what is going on. Yes, that is right. You can't make this up. The speedrunner is so bad at this game that they have to cheat at speedrunning. And how are they doing it? They are stepping onto these pressure plates, which most likely have a command block beneath them that spawn ignited TNT on the top of the obelisks, breaking the end crystals, doing all of the work for the speedrunner. How convenient. Well, after the speedrunner has stepped onto all of their pressure plates, breaking the end crystals, they get their beds ready to defeat the Ender Dragon and beat the game in potentially a top 10 Minecraft speedrun world record. The dragon is descending. The speedrunner throws their Ender Pearl over to start attacking the dragon. Wait, hang on a second. Why are they going the opposite direction? Oh no. Is that another pressure plate? Yeah, that's right. The speedrunner is destroying the Ender Dragon with more spawned TNT until they get the dragon's health down by a quarter, and the dragon just floats up up into the sky, nowhere to be seen ever again. The speedrunner is very confused, looking around, wondering what in tarnation just happened, until the dragon returns miraculously. The speedrunner steps back onto their pressure plate to beat the game and get that sweet, sweet world record, and something is just very wrong here. The dragon will not perch. Oh wait, no, it's about to perch. Never mind. Oh no, wait a second, they got some damage on it. Never mind. Well, this is very unfortunate. The dragon flies away. The speedrunner is beyond 8 minutes. They have lost their spot in the top 10. The dragon is just glitching around. He's doing a ton of dillying, a ton of dallying, and he disappears off into the distance. A whole minute goes by. The dragon begins to perch again. The speedrunner is on home base, triggering the TNT, until, tell me if you notice it, from the top of the screen, a second ender dragon descends from the heavens. What in tarnation is happening? The second dragon pushes the first one out of the way. They are literally battling each other like two cats in a WrestleMania match, and they both just ascend into Valhalla. This speedrunner is never gonna beat the game. This is just so sad. Until out of nowhere, both dragons are perched. The second one is dead. The first one flies into the sky at 1,000 kilometers per hour, and they beat the game. Nope, never mind. No, they did not. The original Ender Dragon's health bar is still at the top of the screen. Despite that though, they pretend to jump in the portal, and there is a cut to the end game credits. That was so goofy. This speedrunner is defeating the Dark Souls 3 boss during a LEGO Star Wars, Mario Kart, RuneScape, Fortnite, Overwatch battle. Wait, this is the wrong footage. This speedrun, everything seems normal, but every time I see that, I always regret it. They're in survival, the difficulty is normal, cheats are off, they create their world. Nope, hang on a second. Did you see that? If I go frame by frame here, this speedrunner is using Lunar Client, which is not a good sign. And they have an intro. Tony, roll the clip. Let the viewers hear what the speedrunner is saying.
I am going to beat the speedrun world record in this game.
The world building screen looks normal. They spawn in, they have a timer. This is fantastic. They're looking straight ahead. Good job. They are not selecting the first slot in their hotbar. Oh no. The speedrunner approaches the tree directly in front of them. Like all fake speedrunners, they break the tree, and beneath them is a barrel. And inside the barrel, oh brother. Listen to what this goofball is saying. They have no defense.
Oh, why is there a barrel and there is so much loot in it? I think it's a new update.
New update, my butt. That was so stupid. If you're gonna cheat, at least try to hide the fact that you're cheating. Out of nowhere, there is a very sudden cut. The speedrunner is directly in front of a desert temple, but even though the speedrun footage cut, the timer is still on the previous time. But if we go one frame ahead, the timer suddenly skips ahead 30 seconds, which is clear proof that the timer was added after recording the speedrun. This is just shameless. So the speedrunner enters this desert temple, digging down, they break the pressure plate, everything is looking good. They mine the TNT. These are professional speedrun strats, even though this guy is a goofy goober. Inside the chests, everything is looking normal, except for, hold the phone, 32 golden apples? What in tarnation? They open the next chest, more gapples. The third chest, more gapples, come on. The fourth chest, take a guess what is inside the fourth chest? More enchanted golden apples. How subtle. Okay, well, the speedrunner has everything they could possibly need. They were very sly with hiding the fact that they were cheating this time.
Wow, there is so many enchanted golden apples.
Before it was subtle, but this time just so obvious. The speedrunner begins building up out of the desert temple, when out of nowhere there is another sudden cut. Again, they are unable to trim the speedrun timer in sync with the footage, because if I go forward one more frame, the time suddenly skips ahead 25 seconds. And how convenient, they are directly in front of a ruined nether portal. The speedrunner approaches this ruined nether portal, opening up the chest, and the loot in here does look normal. Nope, never mind. Is that crossbow called an AK-47? And I'm sorry, I could be stupid, but what in tarnation is ancient artifact? Well, the speedrunner breaks this golden block, collecting it. Again, there is another sudden cut. They're doing the same baloney with their timer, and they have found themselves directly in front of a village. How convenient. But this isn't just any old village. The speedrunner approaches this seemingly normal villager house, and inside is at least 100 villagers jam-packed in there like sardines. And the speedrunner's reaction is just so priceless.
What is happening in this house?
The next few moments, I have no clue what is happening. What is in front of the speedrunner, I don't know. Is this a new structure? I know there was a new update and you guys were giving me a hard time about not knowing about the mace. Genuinely, I couldn't tell if it was a mod or not, but I'm pretty sure last time I checked, a toolsmith is not something in this game. Yep, I can confirm. Those trades are not legitimate. The trades honestly are just horrible, and that's when the speedrunner proceeds to threaten this villager by surrounding them in TNT, and then they try trading with them again. And now all of a sudden the trades are immaculate. Gee, I didn't know threatening villagers with death is a new update of Minecraft. So the speedrunner gets some dirt, and they proceed to get 128 diamond blocks, a diamond pickaxe, a diamond axe. This is truly a mob boss speedrun attempt. Well, these next few moments, let's just watch the footage together in silence, and you tell me if you notice what just happened.
We need some ender eyes to enter the ender to break the ender chain, so I think we will go to the ladder.
Yeah, if you didn't catch that, just a moment ago, the speedrunner has 2 obsidian. Wait a tick. When did they get a command block? I don't even know. There is so much cheating that's going right over my head. And after the cut, they suddenly have 10 obsidian blocks. Well, with these newly found materials, the speedrunner builds a nether portal, lighting it and entering the end. And right off the bat, the load screen is cut off. They are not even looking straight ahead. And I am 99% sure that bastions don't have bridges like this. Now keep in mind, there is a piglin just hanging out. And legitimately, the only thing we can do here is just watch this next segment. It is so ridiculously goofy.
Oh, there is a picnic. Hey, you, give me all your ender pearl or I will kill you with my AK-47.
The speedrunner again threatens another mob in Minecraft, this time with their AK-47. They do get golden ingots, but I don't know what is happening. This piglin traps them in bedrock. So what, piglins have creative mode now? The piglin steals all of the speedrunner's gear, and then the speedrunner is following the piglin down into this like dungeon. And I'm sorry, what is this? The Fellowship of the Ring? Hang on a second, I just noticed now they have a spawn egg in their inventory. I am so genuinely confused. This is like a fever dream right now. The speedrunner is about to get executed by these piglins. He is about to be forced to walk the plank into lava. That's when the speedrunner gets hit off. They ender pearl clutch back onto the ledge, and just like that, they unleash terror on the piglin with their AK-47. I'm actually kind of intrigued as to how a crossbow did that. The piglin that they killed dropped so many ender pearls. There is another cut. The speedrunner is suddenly bridging with wood, which is literally like playing with fire. But just like that, they found themselves directly in front of a nether fortress. The speedrunner follows this path on the nether fortress, and how convenient, at the end of the path is a blaze spawn. So they use their crossbow, wiping out all of the blaze and getting 2 blaze rods. Unfortunately though, the speedrunner is wasting a lot of time waiting for those next few blazes to spawn. Now, a professional speedrunner would know to reduce the render distance, so that way all of the mobs are spawning in that one chunk. But this guy is a baloney head. There is a sudden cut. The speedrunner suddenly has a sword. Where they got it, I don't know. Don't ask me. They kill a blaze with the sword, and they literally get 64 blaze rods from it. You can hear the speedrunner in their microphone trying to explain what is happening.
Okay, guys, guess what? I just kill a river skeleton and get its stone sword, and this stone sword have good luck, so when I kill blaze, they drop more blaze rod. It's very normal in Minecraft.
It just sounds like nonsense, and at the end of it, they say, I am not cheating.
And I am not cheating.
Yeah, right. This guy stinks. Well, the speedrunner crafts blaze powder. There is another cut. The timer has skipped ahead 10 seconds, even though they're in a completely different location. There's another portal directly in front of them, but it's a ruined nether portal, which last time I checked, there aren't ruined nether portals in the nether. Am I just stupid, or is this guy trying to fool me? The speedrunner approaches this ruined nether portal, opening up the chest, getting obsidian and flint and steel. How convenient. So they complete the portal, lighting it, and returning back to the overworld. And before there is even a load screen, tell me if you notice what just happens here. Let's watch it together. Yeah, if I go frame by frame, at the bottom left of the screen, you can clearly see it says set on game mode to survival. What a load of barnacles. This guy is just cheating left and right. Where they are, I don't know. They're underwater, they're about to run out of air, until they approach this seemingly inconspicuous hole in front of them. And would you look at that? Why am I not surprised? It's the stronghold. Now honestly, I gotta give this fake speedrunner props. Most fake speedrunners would just go into spectator mode to locate locate the portal, but this guy actually wasted a whole minute legitimately trying to find the portal room. Kudos to you. You get a gold star. They find the portal room. They massacre these little... actually, I can't even remember what they're called. Dust mites? I don't know. My brain farted. I can't remember what they're called. But he massacres them. The speedrunner fills the portal, or they're trying to fill the portal. I'm not really sure what's happening, but their game is glitching out. And they enter the end with the loading screen very abruptly cut. Now keep in mind, the speedrunner still has a spawn egg in their hotbar. What they are going to do with that, I don't know. I kid you not, you cannot make up these next few moments. The speedrunner legitimately finds Notch on the end island. They hand over all of their golden ingots to Notch, bribing him into beating the game for them. And it's just so goofy. It looks like a Tom and Jerry cat and mouse chase with bald little Notch floating around in the sky trying to defeat the Ender Dragon. But holy cow, Notch actually kills the dragon in one hit. And just like that, the speedrunner beats Minecraft in 9 minutes and 23 seconds, which is still literally more time than the world record legitimately done. What a baloney head. This speedrun, oh man, there is a lot to unpack here. They are playing on a tablet, which is usually a horrible sign. This is gonna be a load of chaos. They've got a diamond sword in their inventory. There is an end portal that is fully complete right in front of them, and they have notifications on their screen. Mentally prepare for this one. The main reason I want to show it to you is because their microphone is so hilarious. Yeah, I don't know if they inhaled a metric ton of helium, but I hope the speedrunner is okay. Right off the bat, they are cheating out the wazoo. There's already a sudden cut. They're in creative mode now, and they jump into the end portal. I'm not sure what happens here because as soon as they spawn into the end, they randomly pick up a raw chicken. How this happens, I do not know. And the reason I want to show you this speedrun is because it's just so stupid. It is literally 5 minutes of them struggling to break the end crystals. Awkward silences, and then as soon as they break it, they go, "Here we go," in a high-pitched voice.
Oh my gosh, guys. We are so close to beating the game. Great. There we go.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I do not review touchscreen speedruns. It is just infuriating to watch. The speedrunner didn't even break the end crystal correctly, and they have to go back. It's just embarrassing. You can hear them frantically tapping on the screen.
There we go. There we go. There we go. We're about to beat it. There we go.
Alright, now that that's over, by some miracle, the speedrunner has broken all of the end crystals. How they are going to defeat the dragon, I don't know. They get lucky, they get a few hits in on the dragon runs away. I guess the speedrunner is giving themselves a bow and arrow now, as if that's going to help them. Aiming on a tablet with a bow and arrow is going to be impossible. You can hear them just frantically and aggressively tapping on their screen. They miss every single shot with this bow and arrow, and I knew it, I called it. They get a notification. It's a Snapchat from whoever in the world Nolan sucks at Fortnite is. Buddy, your first problem is you're playing Fortnite. It is infuriating watching this speedrunner trying to aim with the bow and arrow. By some miracle, they do get a hit in on the dragon, and after a world record 10 years, they finally beat the dragon. I honestly just thought their voice was stupid, and it gave me a chuckle. This speedrun, oh brother, you are in for a treat. The speedrunner spawns into their world and they are already level 7. What a load of barnacles. This is very obviously fake. They do get very, very lucky. They turn to the right. They find a ruined nether portal. How convenient. So the speedrunner walks over to that ruined nether portal. They swim over, and inside the chest, things do look very normal. Full golden armor, a sword, a shovel, and one less nugget than a full stack of iron nuggets. Alright, I take it back. Something is suspicious here. The speedrunner breaks a tree. They make a crafting table. They make iron ingots, an iron pickaxe, a bucket. Then they need a flint to light their nether portal. So they swim down into the ocean using their golden shovel, and holy cannoli, this goofy goober just got 8 flint. So yes, the speedrunner has flint and steel now. And would you look at that, they find a village in the distance too. How convenient. So the speedrunner breaks their crafting table. They find hay, they find a blacksmith, and what in tarnation? Inside of the blacksmith chest, is this even real? Someone is gonna have to fact check this. It honestly could be real. Well, they use their newly found tools, breaking down all this hay, and they use it to make bread. So naturally, the speedrunner returns to their ruined nether portal. They complete the portal, light it, and they enter the nether. And when the speedrunner enters the nether, they find themselves in a crimson forest with nothing else around. Until just a few short moments later, they find themselves directly above a bastion, and how convenient, a huge clump of golden blocks. You know what? I'm holding my breath. This could be legitimate. So they break these gold blocks, and what in the world? I'm sorry, but are those piglins trapped in a ditch beneath them? All right, I take it back. This is fake. I'm sorry, but the chances of this happening are just 1 in a million. So they turn their golden blocks into golden ingots. They throw 64 golden ingots into this ditch, and inside they get 48 ender pearls. Listen, in my past videos, I have done the math, but this time, nope. This guy is a big stinky cheater, and it's 100% chance. So the speedrunner begins throwing ender pearls, trying to traverse the nether, trying to find a nether fortress, and with no luck, there is a very sudden cut where they just appear in front of a nether fortress, and on the bottom left of their screen, it very clearly says set own game mode to survival. What in tarnation? So the speedrunner enters the nether fortress, they find the blaze spawner, and this speedrunner's luck is just fantastic. They kill 1 blaze and get 2 blaze rods. It turns out that their golden sword has looting 3 on it. How convenient. The speedrunner kills 4 blazes, they get 9 blaze rods, which is more than enough. So they craft a new nether portal, lighting it and returning to the overworld. And I kid you not, what a load of barnacles. You're never gonna guess what happens. Pause the video. They spawn directly in front of the portal room. Oh brother, this guy stinks. And the portal is a 5-eye. Buddy, who do you think you are fooling? So the speedrunner creates their blaze powder. They craft their eyes of ender, filling the portal, and they enter the end. And honestly, by this point, I am very impressed. A fake speedrun where the speedrunner actually has a pickaxe and blocks. This is a Christmas miracle. So the speedrunner uses an ender pearl to get to the surface of the end island. They set up a structure on the middle of the portal to use beds to defeat the dragon. And hang on a second, did you notice what just happened? After a very sudden cut, the speedrunner suddenly has 5 beds in their inventory. But if we take a look at all of the previous speedrun footage, I'm sorry, but they never got beds. Which means this guy got beds in creative mode and cut it out of his speedrun footage. So the dragon begins perching, the speedrunner throws an ender pearl in the middle of the island. They start using the beds to kill the dragon. It's off to a rocky start, but things are beginning to look up until, hang on a second, they have used all 5 of their beds. Is this a feature of the game I'm not familiar with? Because they just have infinite beds now. I am so thoroughly confused. If someone can help me to understand, that would be dandy. The speedrunner is getting tossed back. Things are not looking good. There is a sudden cut, and then if you listen to the speedrun footage, you can hear them say, oh guys, it would take a miracle to beat the record now.
Oh guys, it would take a miracle to beat the record now. Wait. What's that on the floor? Oh my god, there's an arrow and a bow. Oh my god, it's got power 5 and infinity. I'm so lucky, guys.
What a load of barnacles. As if that's gonna help them, my grandmother is a better shot than this guy. He misses every single shot. But by some miracle, they do defeat the Ender Dragon, beating the game in world record time of, I don't know, because this guy never put a timer on their screen. And you gotta love how it's a staple of every fake speedrunner to put goofy, intense music in the background.
So close. Come on. Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god.
This speedrunner joins their world, spawning in, they get very, very lucky. There is a ruined nether portal directly in front of them. There's a chicken, some sheep, some pigs. Wow. They're even showing off doing 360s and parkour. This guy looks like he would not fail the beef jump. The speedrunner opens up the chest in front of them. They get a wool sword, gold, obsidian, 6 blocks, and fire. So they fill in the obsidian nether portal using their fire block to light the nether portal, and they enter the nether. And holy cow, those ghasts are looking horrifying. This guy is a one-of-a-kind skilled speedrunner though. They are parkouring around the lava into the bastion. They get very lucky by finding a very large mass of golden blocks, and even luckier finding piglins right in front of them that they can trade with. And holy cow, the trades are wild. They get just so many eyes of ender. What more could a speedrunner need? So So they return to the overworld, throwing their Eyes of Ender. And yeah, triangulation, schmiangulation, they dig right down into the ground. Oh my goodness, the stronghold is right beneath them. My socks have been completely knocked off. With just so much finesse, the speedrunner finds their way right into the portal room. Unfortunately, no luck here. Not a single Eye of Ender in that portal. But not to fear, this speedrunner came prepared with 382 Eyes of Ender. And I was concerned they wouldn't have enough. Well, they fill that stronghold portal, entering the end. And I don't know if it's just because it's Halloween, but this Ender Dragon battle was particularly scary. And those Endermen, don't even get me started. The speedrunner engages in a vicious battle with the Ender Dragon, jumping into the endgame portal, beating Minecraft Free Edition. Yeah, I'm just messing around. This guy got a made this. I just thought it was funny. This speedrun, I am terrified. There is a lot to unpack here. You have a huge watermark at the top right of the screen. The speedrunner is not selecting the first slot on their hotbar, and whoever in the world Bubble Boy with an I-64 is, they took all of the effects away from themselves. Let's just get right into it.
Okay. Oh my god! It's an emerald netherite tree!
Yep, I never thought I would see this day come. I am finally reviewing a fake speedrun that is quite literally one of those crazy ones that I usually put at the beginning of the video. The speedrunner found the netherite emerald tree, and their speedrun timer is just stuck on the same time for the entire duration of the speedrun. And underneath the netherite emerald tree is a chest. What a surprise. Inside it is just all the most ridiculous, stupid items you could possibly imagine. While the speedrunner is taking all this loot, you can hear them freaking out, but also their friends hanging out with them, like muttering underneath their breath, trying to be quiet.
Oh my god, there's an elytra and an Eye of Ender! Hey, someone stole my totem, I'm gonna die! Give it back right now, I'm firing you!
Yeah, and you know what? One of the reasons why I'm reviewing this speedrun is because you could tell it's just a group of friends having a stupid fun time. Yeah, they're cheating at speedrunning, but it's funny.
Oh my god, nice decoration!
Yeah, and that's exactly what I mean. These are just stupid friends having a stupid fun time being goofy. They mine the diamonds, they mine the netherite, they find the super rare netherite diamond golem. Honestly, in a lot of ways, this just reminds me of me being a kid being stupid in video games. It's funny.
Oh my god, it's a super rare iron golem! Oh my god! Look inside, I've gotta get some crits on it!
After all the excitement and the goofiness dies down, the speedrunner gets out their single Eye of Ender, they throw it, and it goes straight down. And you can imagine how excited they are about this.
Let's use this one eye that I got. Oh my god, it went straight down!
And yeah, this plays out about exactly as you would expect it. The speedrunner finds a cave, you can see the stone brick, they dig down, and they dig down directly into the stronghold. When in the stronghold, there is a sign on the wall that says subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed already, it's about time, buddy. They open the chest, more netherite armor and weapons. It's very clear that this is fake.
Oh my god! Time out. One of you guys give me... Okay. Move out of the way. Move out of the way so they don't think I cut. No, I already did it. Okay. Okay. Oh my god!
This is just so hilarious to watch. I feel like I'm getting the behind the scenes from a movie. These goofy kids whispering underneath their breath, saying they're gonna cut it out, and they forget, immediately putting on a show. And yeah, the speedrunner discovers the netherite stronghold with the axolotl spawner with an 11-eye end portal. How lucky.
Oh my god, it's an 11-eye! This day can't get any better! Oh my god, it's a blue axolotl! I've never seen a baby blue axolotl! What are the odds? Anyways, it's time to go in the end. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, honestly, this is pretty funny to watch. Like I said, these are just gamers having a good time, having fun. It's what it's all about. But unfortunately, their plan to fake and cheat at a Minecraft speedrun goes horribly wrong when their creative mode end portal just doesn't work. Until, I kid you not, there is a Windows Movie Maker transition effect, and we discover that their friend just created another portal in the hallway.
Yeah, it's a break. It's a break. Back from our name. It's break. Oh my god! I can't get through.
So the speedrunner fills in the end portal with their Eyes of Ender and they enter the end. And yeah, the end island is made of gold, but I don't think these guys know how to do the /fill command and replace blocks because the entire top of the end island is still end stone. This is so goofy. It doesn't help that their audio is so loud and crunchy. It sounds like an atomic bomb is going off.
Okay, drink this, dragon!
And during all of this madness, I kid you not, the speedrunner just stops playing the game. You can hear his friends while the speedrunner is explaining to them how to do a /kill command. It sounds like someone is cooking with pots and pans in the background, and then they die, and there's a sudden cut, and just watch the full clip on its own. It is hilarious.
Anyways, time to use my secret weapon. See, if you throw either on the ground like this, I can type it with Ender Dragon, and we're gonna die. Whoa! Oh my god, we killed the dragon!
And yeah, just like that, the speedrunner beat the game with their friends in a world record 1 second.
Anyways, world record, baby! Yeah!
Honestly, I know they were faking it, but it's wholesome and it was funny. Before I even start playing this speedrun, this is so cursed. At the top left of the screen, they have a splits timer set up. Great news. But directly in the middle of the screen, there is a button that says mods. At the bottom left, it says forge, 4 mods loaded. And if you think it can't get any worse, it does. Just listen to this goofball's intro.
What's up, guys? Minecraft Gamer 35 here, back with another banger. Today we are doing the best Minecraft speedrun anyone has ever seen. I am not gonna cheat at all, so let's just get right into it, guys.
Yeah, we are in for pure torture. I am so scared for what I'm about to witness. Look at the previous save files. Mother's house facing my mother's grave. I cannot say that third one. Grandma's kitchen. Gee, Minecraft speedrun skit? I wonder what that's for. Because that's the world that they select. The speedrunner loads into their world, and even though they have already begun moving, their timer just doesn't work, so they actually end up windowing out to begin their timer. But they close Minecraft by accident, and there is a lot going on their desktop. They got a picture on the bottom left titled doodoo-fart.jpg. What in tarnation? They have a game on the bottom right called Obama Boss Fight. Since when is that a game? They got Baldi's Basics at the top right. It has been tempting to make a video playing that game for you guys. Anyways, point being, brother, clean up your desktop. Their timer has been going even though they are not even in game. They return back to the Minecraft window. And gee, I wonder what this hole is doing here that is directly in front of the speedrunner.
Start my timer. Okay, timer has started. Let's freaking go. Oh, isn't that a weird glitch? Oh, I just fell into the another.
That must have been one of the smoothest cuts I have ever seen in editing history. The speedrunner falls down a hole and they just find themselves in the back rooms. I mean the end. They open up their inventory and inside is an ender chest. So the speedrunner puts that ender chest down and inside is everything they would possibly need to defeat the ender dragon in world record time. You know, oak planks, netherite leggings, a bazooka.
Okay, so let's go. Okay. Get the freak out of here. Let's go. It's way too easy. Like I said. No! God, I quit this game. Alright, it's fine, guys. It's okay. Oh, he's healing! Oh. What's up? Yeah. Who's tough now, Ender Dragon? Got my new bazooka. Shoot, guys. Yeah! Screw you! Yeah! Screw all of you Endermans. We have... No! Oh my god! I think I just lost my record, guys. Oh my god. Oh, look at all that XP. Too easy. Dream, get out of my game.
Yeah, what a ridiculous speedrun. And I kid you not, the last minute of this footage is this guy actually submitting his speedrun to speedrun.com. He makes the category any % glitchless, enters his time as 4 seconds and 14 milliseconds, but they actually end up correcting it to 4 minutes. They make their difficulty hard. In the mods section, they keep it on vanilla, and they submit it. So, I wonder if Minecraft Gamer 35 is on the leaderboards. What a goofy speedrun.
Way too easy.
This speedrun starts off, and right off the bat, there is so much wrong here. They do have a timer. They are selecting the 7th slot in their hotbar. And before I reveal this next one, take a few seconds and tell me if you notice it. Alright, it's been a few seconds. Tony, do a zoom on the left side of the screen. Yep, that is Herobrine in the window, just in time for Halloween. Let's get this party started. The speedrunner begins walking forward. Very lucky they spawn in front of a village and a ruined nether portal. How convenient. The speedrunner does open the chest in front of them, and the loot inside of the chest does look very, very normal. They equip their newly found golden helmet, filling in the ruined nether portal with their obsidian, and they light the nether portal with the fire charge. Entering the nether in 20 seconds. That is world record time, but very risky considering they're only entering the nether with 14 iron nuggets and a golden shovel. The speedrunner wastes a solid 10 seconds hopping around until they open their inventory using their iron pickaxe to mine some netherrack. But hang on a second, when in tarnation did they get that pickaxe? The speedrunner mines forward, and I kid you not, they uncover a nether fortress. How convenient. So the speedrunner very carefully navigates their way around some lava. Directly in front of them, finding a blaze spawner. This is the world's luckiest seed of all time. Unfortunately though, this speedrun takes a turn for the worse. They are so blatant about cheating because directly beyond this spawner is a stack of 14 blaze rods. You have got to be kidding me. The speedrunner then finds a chest not too far away, failing a parkour jump. Buddy is totally the type of guy to do the beef jump and fail it. Inside of the chest, they find iron horse armor, 4 golden ingots, and a single diamond. But hang on a second, why are they leaving the nether fortress? Well, the speedrunner begins digging down in a completely random spot, and watch these next few moments and tell me if you notice it. It's gonna sneak up on you.
It's down here. Oh, let's go, Bastion. Oh my gosh, what luck.
Yeah, just like that, the speedrunner has found a bastion. Under 2 minutes, holy cannoli, how lucky. The speedrunner then tries finding piglins to trade with. They throw 4 golden ingots at the 3 piglins, and I'm sorry, but that was not subtle at all. Where did this pile of ender pearls come from? If someone can help me to explain this mystery, that would be great. Mentally prepare yourself though, because there are like 50 more mysteries incoming. The speedrunner again digs down in a completely random spot, and they dig down into the overworld. The speedrunner continues digging down, revealing an endless pit beneath them. And I kid you not, they land in a pile of water right outside of the stronghold portal room. Just under 3 minutes. Wow, that's all I have to say. The speedrunner breaks the spawner. It's a 4-eye portal. They make their blaze powder. They make their eyes of ender. So the speedrunner fills the end portal with their eyes of ender, entering the portal. And hang on a second, did you catch that? In a split second, the dragon's health bar goes from 100% to 1%. What a load of barnacles. The speedrunner begins digging up until they get hit by something. Hit by Herobrine. Oh my goodness, this is spooky. This is a Halloween special for sure. The only problem is that Herobrine is actually Blue Mustard 59. The speedrunner's reaction to finding Blue Mustard 59 is just priceless.
Oh my gosh, it's Herobrine! Oh my gosh, it's Herobrine!
That's when Herobrine types in chat, I am thinking of a number 1 to 15. The speedrunner types in the chat 34. Wait, 34? What? That's when Herobrine says, you are right. What a plot twist. It was a trick question all along. They get full diamond armor, a netherite sword, a bow, a stack of arrows, and beds. This is truly the luckiest of all time.
I don't know why the dragon's 1 health. It must be a glitch in the new update.
The speedrunner attempts killing the dragon with 2 arrows. Their aim is abysmal until there is a shameful cut and the dragon is mid-death animation. What a celebratory moment. Even Herobrine is saying you did it, yay. This speedrun, I don't know why, but it takes an unusually long time to load their world. But as soon as the speedrunner loads in, everything here is looking very normal, except for the fact that they are level 1 and they are selecting the 3rd slot on their hotbar. Yep, they spawn into what seems like a normal village village, this is not normal. What in the Truman Show is this fake speedrun? Buddy, did you really think we wouldn't notice that there is a blue block wall surrounding you? I mean, maybe if I squint a little bit, I wouldn't have noticed. The speedrunner breaks down this tree, getting 3 oak logs, and then they attempt killing this cow. Emphasis on attempt because they are playing on a touchscreen tablet, and you know how I feel about tablets. Well, the speedrunner explores this village more, and they get very lucky finding a ruined nether portal. And I gotta say, it is pretty creative how they use the purple wool with the door. It's funny. They open up the chest in typical fake speedrun fashion, finding full netherite gear. How lucky. So the speedrunner equips their newly found gear. They open up the door to the nether portal, something I never thought I would ever hear myself saying. There is a sign that says loading terrain. How proper. They close the door behind them, and inside the nether chest are 4 eyes of ender. So the speedrunner exits the nether. They close the door behind them again. What a gentleman. And I just noticed now, this trap door in front of them is supposed to be the end portal, plus 10 points for creativity. So they fill the portal with eyes. Entering the end, there is another sign that says loading terrain. The speedrunner turns around and holy cow, they engage in a gruesome battle with a Wish.com Ender Dragon version 3.0. That's right, a double whammy back to back. Nah, I'm just kidding. In absolute silence, the speedrunner one by one slowly breaks all of the blocks off of this Wish.com dragon. And the last frame of this speedrun is a mystery that will keep me up at night for the rest of my life. If someone can help me to understand what this sign means, I honestly feel stupid. I have no idea what that is supposed to mean. Let me know in the comments. Thanks. The speedrunner creates their world and everything is looking normal. World creation seems legitimate. They're selecting the first slot. They're looking ahead. But hang on a second. As soon as they start moving, they are using a timer, not a stopwatch. Buddy, that's not how speedruns work. So the speedrunner spawns in what seems like the middle of nowhere. I'm not sure why, but they run around this tree. A little suspicious, but let's just roll with it. Well, nothing looks different. So the speedrunner jumps into the ocean and they're swimming. And would you look at that, straight ahead is a village. How lucky is that? So the speedrunner enters this village and everything seems very normal. But hang on a second. This house on the right, the door is already open. Totally legit. Inside this house, the speedrunner opens up the chest and they do find items that I believe to be legitimate. Some snowballs, an ice block, some seeds, some bread, a potato. But the speedrunner only takes the blue ice, the bread, and they break the bed. Then the speedrunner puts the blue ice down in a very specific spot. Weird, but okay. They go in another house, opening the chest and only taking potatoes, 2 emeralds, and they break this bed. They go in another house, take more potatoes, take more beds, more potatoes, more bread, another one, another one, another one, another bed, another bed, more bread, another bed. Hang on a second. This village is the size of New York City. How many beds are there? I'm trying to figure out why this speedrunner has wasted 3 whole minutes just collecting potatoes, bread, and beds. What is this guy? Dwight Schrute? Bears beats Battlestar Galactica? Anyways, I don't know if I'm being paranoid now, but the speedrunner enters this house. They go inside to upgrade gear, and I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but the top left slot has nothing in it, and then all of a sudden there is an icon present. Again, I don't know if I'm overthinking this. I could just be paranoid, but nothing seems fake about this speedrun yet. This guy has 13 beds. And if you look back at one of my older videos called Beating Minecraft the Right Way, I'm pretty sure there's footage in there of me once cycling the dragon with like 4 or 5 beds. You do not need 13 beds if you are speedrunning Minecraft. Just wait, it gets worse. Watch this next moment and tell me if you notice anything unusual about it. Rewind the video if you didn't notice it and try and take a better look. Yeah, that's right. If you look closely, there is a very sudden cut. The only indication is that the edges of the screen get slightly darker if I go frame by frame. Why, you might ask, there would be a sudden cut while this speedrunner is just collecting beds? Yeah, that's why. I think this guy is gonna make the American flag out of beds. Now again, watch these next few moments and tell me if you notice what's going on here. Yeah, that's right. If I go frame by frame, there is another very sudden cut. Going from the last frame to the next, they're selecting a different slot on their hotbar. You can also notice a big skip in their motion forward. Well, genuinely, nothing looks different here. So I do wonder if this speedrunner was making unnecessary cuts to throw us off of their trail. I don't know. Well, the speedrunner approaches a very inconspicuous blob of coal ore on the ground, and they begin putting beds down in a very particular manner on this coal ore. And it's really tough to say what happens here because as soon as the speedrunner turns around, there is just a lit nether portal right behind them. What in tarnation? The only thing I can imagine is that if I go frame by frame, there is a very sudden moment where they are selecting a different slot on their hotbar. What I think is going on here is that this speedrunner is kind of like a sleight of hand magician. They're just doing all sorts of wacky stuff in front of us so that we're not paying attention to the real cheating that's going on here. Well, the speedrunner does enter the nether, and unfortunately where they spawn in is not so good. There is literally nothing here. So I genuinely don't know what the speedrunner is gonna do next. Wait a second, what in the world are they doing? Yeah, hang on a second. Did you see what just happened there? If I go frame by frame, we can very clearly see the particles in the air suddenly being in completely different areas, as well as them selecting, again, another slot in their inventory. And when they turn around, the nether portal is gone, and it's replaced by a chest and an armor stand with full netherite armor. Oh, brother, way to be obvious. So the speedrunner takes their spoils of war and they equip their full netherite armor, opening the chest, finding basically everything you would need to speedrun Minecraft if you're bad at the game. This is so goofy. Then the speedrunner tosses their bread and potatoes into the lava pit like, you know what, I'm too good for you anyways. So the speedrunner begins digging out a hole to build the nether portal in. Even though that wastes tons of time, they could have just built the nether portal without digging out all of those blocks. But on the bright side, at least this guy knows what a rectangle looks like. So they use their fire charge to light the nether portal. And again, I'm just gonna assume you noticed what just happened here. Yeah, going frame by frame, the golden apples are gone and they suddenly have a water bucket. This guy literally has to cheat because he's not good at cheating. Just let that sink in. Well, the speedrunner walks around and they approach a very specific block and they begin breaking it, only to reveal a very, very long hole with water at the bottom of it. And would you look at that, it's the stronghold. And I have to point out how goofy it is that the speedrunner got an advancement for Monster Hunter, but they never got an advancement for, oh, I don't know, finding the stronghold, which essentially means 5 minutes into the speedrun, and that is the first time this player killed a mob. That is just sad. As if this couldn't get any worse, the speedrunner then begins to fill the portal with eyes in the most obscure way possible. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 8, 7, 10, 9, 11, 12. Oh my goodness. Do you not know how to count in order? Well, the speedrunner is in the end now, and they actually did get an advancement for that, which is good news. They tried a water bucket clutch onto the end island, and they failed doing so. But the speedrunner just never picks up their water again. Buddy, you made a whole elaborate series of cuts just to give yourself that water bucket. And for what? To fail the water bucket clutch? But here's the thing, they actually turn around as if like, oh, I need my water. And then they change their mind again, forgetting that they just put a block on the water source, getting rid of it. Well, when in the end, the speedrunner attempts shooting 2 of the end crystals with their bow and arrow, missing both of them. And then they suddenly start building this structure and digging down. Wait, hang on a second, what's going on here? Yeah, if I go frame by frame, the speedrunner suddenly has 31 more experience points, 2 less cooked chickens, 3 less golden apples, and a partridge in a pear tree. Yeah, who am I kidding? The Ender Dragon's health bar is gone. When the speedrunner digs up to the surface, there is just a pool of bath water hanging out on the end island. What is that? The Ender Dragon's jacuzzi? I don't know. And what really happened here, I don't know if we'll ever find out. Wait, yes, we will find out. Before the speedrunner enters the end game portal, they look up, and what in tarnation happened up there? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Buddy really built the transcontinental railroad on the top of the end island. And yes, just like that, the speedrunner beat the game in, I guess 7 minutes and 12 seconds. But if you factor in all the cuts and all the lost footage, it was probably about 3 hours. Holy cow, this speedrun is a load of barnacles. Bottom left of the screen, it is very clear to see that they are using Forge, and they have 17 mods loaded. I am terrified. Things get even worse. If you take a look at their most recent worlds, they have Super, Super 2, Super Race in all caps, and then the most recent one is Fake Speed Ran, which is in creative mode, has cheats enabled, and they select that one. And their intro is just ridiculous. Listen to their microphone.
Hey dude, so today we're speedrunning Minecraft and stuff, yeah!
Right off the bat, the speedrunner spawns in, and we can tell that the first mod they have installed is a mini-map, which scares me because the last time I saw a speedrunner have a mini-map, they pulled out a nuclear bazooka and destroyed the Ender Dragon. Well, things do seem normal here. They approach this tree, they break it. Oh no. That is a chest, and inside the chest is an infinity gauntlet. Yeah, okay, I know this one is fake. It was just funny. It made me chuckle. No, never mind, this one was legit. This speedrun, they're not looking straight ahead. Set on game mode to survival. They're selecting the second slot, so what kind of goofy nonsense were they doing behind the scenes in creative mode and cut it out? Let's find out. Holy cow, the bitrate quality of this video is so low. It literally looks like garbled pixels when they move around. Well, the speedrunner walks around, they find a tree, and they begin breaking. And come on, why am I not surprised? Beneath the tree is a chest. Whoop-de-doo-dah, I have seen this 100 times over now. Man, this was such a last year fake speedrunner thing. Get with the picture.
Oh my god! It's the 1 in a million zillion chance!
Yep, that's right. 1 in a million jillion zillion chance for the speedrunner to find a chest under a tree full of trees. Very original. Now, the real question is, what in the world is this speedrunner gonna do with that much wood? Well, allow me to tell you. They make 3 crafting tables, 243 planks, and they waste a bunch of time trying to make sticks.
Oh my god! Oh yes, look at this amazingness! Oh my god!
Well, after the speedrunner gets very, very lucky discovering all of this wood, they run around for 5, maybe 10 seconds until you can hear them say under their breath, "This is a bad spawn."
Oh my god, this is a bad spot.
The speedrunner comes to a halting stop. They begin typing a /locate structure command, and they waste just so much time. I don't know what in the world they are trying to locate, but running around like a goofball would literally be quicker than combing through these list of commands. I'm not really sure what happens here. They select the ruined portal, but the next frame an error comes up saying there is no structure with type #MinecraftDes. What in the world are you doing? This dude just discovered commands yesterday, but they eventually do figure out how to locate a desert pyramid. They get the coordinates, and I kid you not, they just use a /teleport command. And what in the world? Their username is mylemon21? What a weird username. The speedrunner spawns themselves into a wall. They begin dying. Their reaction is just so funny.
Alright, we're here. Oh my god! Alright, we made it.
Yep, there is a sudden cut before they die in a wall. So completely legitimately, the speedrunner finds themselves outside of a desert temple. How lucky. Then they put down one of their crafting tables. They put down 3 of their crafting tables. Why? I don't know. Then they struggle to make a wooden pickaxe. I don't think they know that you can't use logs for a pickaxe. You have to use planks. But good for them, they figured out. The speedrunner crafts that wooden pickaxe. And at the bottom of the desert pyramid, I don't even want to interrupt this historical moment in cinema. Just watch what happens. It is priceless.
Okay. Yes. Oh. Okay.
That was just so hilarious. They ignite the TNT by accident beneath them. The speedrunner dies. Then there is a very sudden cut. Again, it says set on game mode to survival. So what goofy creative mode nonsense has this guy been up to? And in front of them is a ruined nether portal. Hang on a second though. Last time I checked, obsidian does not spawn like this at a ruined nether portal.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yes, inside of the ruined nether portal chest is just some very legitimate, completely inconspicuous items. You know, a flint and steel, a golden nugget, 64 bedrock, 64 obsidian, diamonds, full netherite gear, and so much more.
And so much more!
The speedrunner is literally stealing my lines. Good for them. The speedrunner has everything they need to beat Minecraft. Are they actually able to do that? No, not at all. They begin building this nether portal. Unfortunately, they create an abomination. Lighting it doesn't work. Who are you kidding?
Okay, gosh.
Oh my goodness, this guy's reactions are so hilarious. They realize they have messed up. They start freaking out. The footage cuts, and it's very clear that they went into creative mode, fixed their portal, and just cut it out of the run. Well, congratulations. They light the nether portal, and they enter the nether. And come on, before the loading screen even comes up, there is no loading screen. There's a sudden cut. On the ground in front of them is a floating anvil, and directly behind them is a hole. And I swear, if the mythical frog is in that hole, I am gonna lose it. Only true fans are familiar with the fake Minecraft speedrun lore. Holy cow, would you believe it? It actually is the mythical frog. The fake speedrun universe lore deepens.
The mythical frog spawn. Oh my god, the mythical frog just dropped 64 blaze rods.
Oh my goodness, what a historical moment. The speedrunner finds the mythical frog, and the footage cuts and there's blaze rods in front of them. But you know what? The speedrunner didn't cheat. It was all the mythical frog. The speedrunner expresses his gratitude and appreciation to the mythical frog by tossing enchanted golden apples in its ditch, tossing bedrock and gold blocks in the hole, falling into the hole by accident, and they return to the portal.
Oh my gosh.
Again, the loading screen is gone. The speedrunner's screams are making me crack up. They return to the overworld. There is very clearly Enderman spawned all over the area. And they still have an Enderman spawn egg in their inventory, so they place it without cutting it out of the video. What a sloppy faker. And again, what another historical moment in speedrunning history. The speedrunner found the legendary Enderman cave.
The Enderman cave, the best speedrun in Minecraft history.
The speedrunner then proceeds to show off their extreme agility and skill by attacking the Enderman, getting a single pearl, and then proceeding to get wrecked and destroyed by this gang of Endermen before they begin retreating. And there is a sudden cut where they just miraculously have Ender pearls in their inventory. If you think it can't get any worse, it does. The speedrunner runs away, as any speedrunner would do, and they try crafting Eyes of Ender, but I don't think they know what blaze powder is until there is another sudden cut and they have blaze powder in their inventory. Oh my goodness, do not tell me they had to go into creative mode to give themselves blaze powder. Don't tell me that. Well, the speedrunner throws just way too many Eyes of Ender into the sky, and just listen to what this goofball is saying.
Oh my god, it's pointing to right in that cave. Oh my look, it's pointing straight at that hole.
The speedrunner is saying that the Eyes of Ender are pointing directly into the hole beneath them, but they are just not. Do you think we were born yesterday? Well, the speedrunner jumps down into that hole until there is another sudden cut, and they're just magically in the stronghold. This is so embarrassingly crappy. Well, they turn around in the stronghold, and it turns out that they are right outside of the portal room. How convenient. And in the sloppiest way possible, they fill the portal with eyes. This is just so cursed. And wow, would you look at that, there's actually a loading screen. Nope, never mind, I spoke too soon. There's another sudden cut, and let's just hang out on this freeze frame for just a moment. The video quality is fuzzy, but could that be the mythical frog on the screen in front of us? Are we graced by his presence again? Yes, I can confirm. The speedrunner crosses paths with the mythical frog yet again. How lucky. They are given a bed, and oh no. Is that what I think it is in front of us? Nope, never mind. Looks like we're not gonna find out because there's another sudden cut. The speedrunner was given creative mode by the mythical frog. They are floating around, breaking the end crystals. And yep, it's exactly what I thought it was. The Wish.com Ender Dragon 2.0. The speedrunner kills the dragon with their bed, beating the game, and just listen to the reaction. It's funny. What a load of barnacles. This speedrun is so hilarious. Right off the bat, pausing the first frame, there is a lot that I could comment on. Comment down below if you can see it. If you know, you know. But before I even say anything, just listen to this guy's microphone.
Hello guys, welcome to my Minecraft speedrun.
This man must be the first person on Earth to use a corn dog to record audio. What is that quality? What is that stone structure? That chest with the sign on
Oh
it?
my god, is that a lit up?
Yeah, if you can't already tell from their audio, the speedrunner is very excited about finding a witch hut in Minecraft.
It's a witch hut! It is a witch hut! It's a witch hut!
And if you didn't already know, it's a witch hut. Unfortunately though, the speedrunner's good fortune ends here because they are unable to jump up into the hut. They have never heard of breaking blocks and placing them. And at that point, the witch starts attacking them and their reaction is priceless.
No! The witch! No!
Yep, that's right. The speedrunner is running away from almost dying from a witch. And all of a sudden, if I pause the video here, do you see what is wrong on the screen? Yep, take a closer look. Is that a lit nether portal? What in tarnation? At this point, the speedrunner also catches sight of the ultra chest.
Ultra chest? Oh my god! What are the odds?
This has got to be the funniest fake speedrun I have ever seen. It is like Nigel Thornberry in the wild discovering creative mode. The speedrunner is transferring over their newly found netherite weapons and armor into their inventory as slow as a snail. So the speedrunner equips their newly found netherite armor and they enter into the nether portal that is already lit and is so clearly fake. As soon as the speedrunner spawns into the nether, they are immediately being hit by arrows from hostile piglins. They are going in a loop. And look at that, how lucky they are. They spawned right in front of a nether fortress as well. And they get even luckier on this fine Tuesday afternoon. Is that another ultra chest? How convenient. What are the odds? And inside this second ultra chest, 64 Eyes of Ender. Woohoo!
Oh my god, what are the odds?
I kid you not, the speedrunner must have no idea what they are doing. It's like they discovered Minecraft yesterday. They try to throw their Eyes of Ender in the nether, and then when they give up on that, I kid you not, they walk further down the cliff and just watch what happens. It is hilarious.
I cannot do it!
Wow, this speedrunner is so lucky. They find an end portal just hang around in the nether, just sitting there. So they freak out. They are jumping with joy. They jump into the end portal. There is just one problem. They basically have nothing. And that's when this happens.
Wait, what's going on? Oh my god, what's going on, guys? I think I'm glitching out. What's going on? I think I'm glitching.
Yeah, I kid you not, based on the speedrunner's reaction, their game just started miraculously typing a /kill command. The speedrunner did not do this. They are innocent. I've only seen this happen like one time before, and holy smokes, it's because Minecraft was possessed by the ghost of Herobrine. Yeah, just like that, the speedrunner has defeated the Ender Dragon. Now all they have to do is jump into that portal and get that sweet, sweet world record and steal it from Dream. Unfortunately though, the speedrunner is literally dying to Endermen. They are cornered up against a wall, holding their shield up for dear life. At which point, they by accident jump off of the end island. Just watch this.
I don't really remember. Okay, bye. Oh my god, no!
Yeah, and just like that, Nigel Thornberry completely ruined his chances at securing that sweet, sweet world record. What a shame. This speedrun footage begins on the title screen. At the bottom left, we can see it says Fabric, which makes me suspicious. They click single player though, revealing all of their save files, and it does seem that they attempt speedrunning a lot. So they create their new world, not changing any of the settings, and the world creation screen does look very normal. The speedrunner spawns right in a village. If I had a penny for every time I said that, I would have as many pennies as I have reviewed a fake speedrun. So they break some blocks in front of them, getting some wood, building a crafting table, using it to make a pickaxe. Then they break some cobblestone on the side of this house. And I'm not sure why, but the speedrunner creates a stone hoe. Odd, but okay. So they make more sticks, crafting a stone pickaxe, leading me to believe that the stone hoe was a mistake. Oh brother, the speedrunner makes another stone hoe by accident and a stone axe. They use the stone hoe to break some hay, and they break some beds in the village. The speedrunner opens up a chest in one of the houses, and the loot is looking very legitimate. 3 potatoes, 3 saplings, some flowers. What is fake about the speedrun? They open another chest, 6 bread, 4 emeralds, 1 potato. Then then the speedrunner begins attacking the golem. They kill another golem, there is not a cut, and they get 3 more iron ingots. So the speedrunner makes an iron pickaxe and an iron bucket. They turn their hay into wheat, turning the wheat into bread, and at 5.5 minutes, this is the world's slowest cheating Minecraft speedrunner. Buddy, come on, get with the picture. Go in creative mode, cut it out. We are getting bored over here. Never mind, I spoke too soon. The speedrunner builds up into this floating house, opening the chest, finding the world's weirdest loot. Blocks of redstone, netherrack, blocks of netherite, a flint and steel. This is the weirdest way to fake a Minecraft speedrun. And hang on a second, that is not a nether portal. What in the world is this guy building? Oh my gosh, is this the Halloween special? Or is this speedrunner summoning Herobrine? The speedrunner puts down the redstone torches using their flint and steel to summon fire on the altar. And that's when they get blown up by a creeper. What was supposed to happen here? The speedrunner respawns, and I don't even know what I'm watching anymore. The Among Us imposter has been spawned in full enchanted netherite armor. They're throwing enchanted netherite gear at the speedrunner while the speedrunner is literally getting shot at by a skeleton, or as the last guy said,
"You're one of those boner monsters."
Well, yeah, the speedrunner now has fully enchanted netherite gear. The speedrun returns to the same house that they were in earlier where they got the netherite, opening the chest. This is just so fake that it is stupid. Tons of obsidian, tons of iron gear. This goober builds a nether portal at the pace of a snail. Unfortunately though, by the time they get done building it, they realize they don't have flint and steel. Until there is a blatant cut, they turn around, and I guess a villager gave them flint and steel. How legitimate. So the speedrunner lights their nether portal with the flint and steel, and holy cow, the quality of this video is so bad, but if you squint your eyes, you can tell that they actually spawned right next to a nether fortress. And watch closely, because while the speedrunner is exploring this nether fortress, they by accident use the hand gestures on their Mac, revealing their desktop and 2 folders, 1.16.1 mods and mods. Gee, I wonder if they have mods installed. Surprise, surprise, there is another blatant cut with the speedrunner turning around and there's just a stack of bread on the ground, but no amount of cheating is gonna help this guy beat the game. He by accident falls down into a ditch, barely taking any damage, and then he just starts using obsidian to build back up to the top of the fortress. This is just painful to watch. Finally though, the speedrunner does find Blaze, one-shotting every blaze in front of them, not getting a single blaze rod. Nope, never mind. 10 minutes into this horrible speedrun, they have 1 blaze rod, until again they set up for another ridiculous cut. It says set own game mode to survival mode. Turning around, there's a blaze spawner directly behind them with tons of blaze as far as the eye can see. Still no luck though. This is so sad. The speedrunner breaks some of the nether brick, revealing that it's a double spawner. Oh my goodness, how lucky. I don't care how much fake luck this goofball has. Wait a second, when did they get 7 blaze rods, and when did the timer start going backwards? I am just so confused. The speedrunner begins building a nether portal. The timer's going backwards. They return to the overworld, and the new nether portal spawns right into the portal room. What a load of baloney. It's a 12i2. How much more ridiculous will this speedrun get? The answer is much more ridiculous. The speedrunner turns on debug mode, showing hitboxes. Like that's gonna help you. They press escape, showing the menu, and at the bottom it says disconnect. I'm sorry, is this guy playing on a server? Well, they changed their render distance, increasing it, but despite that, you still cannot see 5 blocks ahead of you. This has gotta be the weakest PC in all of gaming history. After literal minutes of going by, but sorry, you'd never know because their timer is malfunctioning, going backwards, set up their bed in the middle of the end island, breaking it, and on the very next frame, you can see a command in the chat box that says killed Ender Dragon, and the speedrun fades to black. This speedrun, holy cannoli, you are in for a treat. The beginning is honestly just awkward. It takes forever to load, and you can hear their microphone. It's just awkward silence. There is a certain point where you can hear the speedrunner just incessantly tapping on their screen, hoping that it makes it load faster. Now hang on a second though, they load in, but did you see what just happened? If we go frame by frame, it is very clear that they spawned in, there's a villager in front of them, but the next frame, they're in a completely different location. They're selecting the 4th slot on their inventory, and oh no. Are they playing this game on a tablet? That is one of the 7 deadly sins. Well, the speedrunner enters this villager house, then they close the door, then they open it and leave the villager house, then they close the door again. Buddy, are you okay? Was that one of those like old school video game glitches where you're using the Game Shark and you have to press A 3 times then B 2 times? I don't know. Well, the speedrunner locates a blacksmith. They enter the house, opening the chest inside, and the loot looks very, very normal. Some oak saplings, 3 iron leggings, a golden ingot, 4 obsidian. This is great news. Everything is looking very normal. So the speedrunner puts on their new iron leggings, and I love how every time they enter or exit a house, they have to close the door behind them. Buddy, this is a fake speedrun. There is no space for manners here. And would you look at that, in the distance, they locate a ruined nether portal. How convenient. And even from this far away, you can see that they have just the right amount of obsidian to fill in that portal. Yeah, what a strange coincidence. They open up the chest outside of the ruined nether portal, and again, the loot is looking very, very normal. There's some golden boots, there's some golden sword, a flint and steel, some iron and golden nuggets. But the real question is, the enchantments on the armor and the weapon, are they legitimate? Fire protection 4, soul speed 3, sharpness 5, looting 3. Is this possible? I don't know, you tell me. Well, the speedrunner equips their new golden boots, and by some miracle, using a touchscreen, they are actually able to fill in the nether portal. I'm so confused because it looks like they are so far away. The speedrunner fills in those last 2 blocks of the nether portal, and oh my goodness, this might be the best player on a tablet I've ever seen. Usually it's this infuriating experience, but this actually is not too bad. Nothing here is looking too fishy. They light the portal, good for you, and just like that, the speedrunner is entering the nether. Hang on a second though, something here is funny. If I play this footage back, the loading screen freezes and the audio cuts out, but no big deal, everything here is looking normal. Luckily, the speedrunner does spawn right in front of a bunch of piglins, so they put their golden ingots down. Hang on a second. Where did the speedrunner get 128 golden ingots from? Because last time I checked, if I rewind the footage, they entered the nether with 1 golden ingot. What a load of barnacles. So the speedrunner is trading with these piglins. All of a sudden, they go into the menu and they start changing their personal game mode, but they don't do it. I'm not sure what the speedrunner was trying to do, but he was very clearly tempted to go into creative mode. I'm watching you. Honestly, the next few moments of this speedrun are very, very boring. If you listen to the audio, it's just a bunch of piglins snorting. In the speedrunner's microphone, you can hear a dog barking. The trading process here is mind-numbingly boring. It would be more exciting to watch paint dry. Hang on a second though, did you see that? There was a very obvious cut. Then the speedrunner opens up their inventory, and it's suddenly full of all of this new golden ingots. Oh, brother. They were cheating before, but 2 stacks of golden ingots just was not enough for them. Well, the show must go on. The speedrunner throws even more golden ingots into the hole with the piglin, and this next moment, we are going to have to analyze it frame by frame. If I go slowly here, you can see at the bottom right corner of the screen, there is something green going on down there, and it's not St. Patrick's Day donuts. Yeah, that's right. The speedrunner drops into the pit, and not only do they get 16 ender pearls, but they also get 16 blaze rods. The only thing I can conclude here is that their last cut, they put the blaze rods and the ender pearls behind the piglin so that you would never be able to see it on the ground. What in tarnation? Well, I guess just like that, the speedrunner has everything that they need, so they go into the portal and return to the overworld. And right off the bat, things are looking even more conspicuous. There is a single dirt path block just hanging out in front of them. So the speedrunner approaches this very obvious block, breaking it, and beneath it is a chest. And inside that chest, oh come on, you gotta be kidding me. This guy was doing such a good job at hiding the fact that he was cheating, and out of nowhere, he brings out the mother load. Full netherite armor and gear, 4 totems, enchanted golden apples, end portal frames and eyes, 6 beds. Buddy, you are gonna need a lot more than 6 beds to defeat the dragon. Wait, why are they they closing the chest? At this point, I am so confused. The speedrunner looks up into the sky and they waste a whole 30 seconds very, very slowly throwing things out of their inventory. Is this guy okay? I kid you not. They spend the next 5 minutes transferring the items from the chest into their inventory. This is just embarrassing. And what in tarnation is a potion of creative mode? By some miracle, the speedrunner is actually able to put down the end portal frames onto the ground. What an achievement on a tablet. They fill the portal with eyes and they enter the end. And remember how just a second ago I said what in tarnation is a potion of creative mode? Well, you're about to find out. Tony, roll the clip. Yeah, what a load of barnacles. This guy is taking an eternity to break these end crystals, and if you thought it could not get worse, it does. The speedrunner finishes breaking all of the end crystals, and they start typing in the chat a /kill command. And at this point, that is when a mobile phone screen recording pops up on the bottom right of the screen. I'm not kidding, you cannot make this up. But it's just a stopwatch that started right now. And come on, brother, charge your phone. So yeah, I am thoroughly confused. The speedrunner enters in that kill command. They defeat the dragon, entering the portal and beating the game in, I'm not really sure, 31 seconds? I'm not sure if the speedrunner understands that you're supposed to start the timer, oh, I don't know, at the beginning of the speedrun. This speedrun, what in tarnation? They're selecting the 3rd slot on their hotbar. They're already level 4, and it very clearly says set own game mode to survival. So is this speedrun legit? No, but it's funny, so let's watch it. They begin speedrunning the game, approaching this tree, breaking it, and getting 5 logs. They make a wooden pickaxe, they begin mining some stone, and they create a stone pickaxe. Everything here is looking very, very normal, which begs the question, why did it say set own game mode to survival mode earlier? Well, you're gonna find out very soon. The speedrunner then approaches a very strange hole in the ground, perfectly shaped steps leading down to iron ore. How convenient. So the speedrunner mines this iron ore and they get some stone. And I have to say, it is so infuriating seeing their mouse cursor floating around on the screen in addition to this ginormous watermark slapped on the bottom left of their recording. Well, anyways, don't get me started. The speedrunner creates a furnace and they begin smelting their iron ore. They craft a shield and an iron pickaxe. Like I said, everything here is looking very, very normal. What's a fake speedrun? Well, the speedrunner begins leaving the starting area and they run into a chicken, at which point they go on a wild goose hunt trying to hit this chicken with their new pickaxe, but they have no skill or agility. It is hilarious. Yeah, okay, that's finally over. The speedrunner kills the chicken, they get chicken, and everything seems very, very legitimate until, hang on a second, do you see that in the corner of your screen? Yeah, let's do a slow zoom here, and just tell me if you notice what is wrong on the left side of the screen. Yeah, that's right, the speedrunner finds a ruined nether portal. This is so goofy and fake. Honestly, if they slap some netherrack on there, if they slap some iron bars, maybe a gold block, this might actually be believable. Nonetheless, they open up the chest. There is a flint and steel, a diamond sword, and 64 blocks of stone. Totally legit. Ah, yeah, and the diamond sword has sharpness 100. Buddy, do you think we just blew in from Stupid Town? That is not possible. So the speedrunner lights the nether portal with their newly found flint and steel, entering the nether, and notice how there is just no load screen whatsoever. And as soon as the speedrunner spawns into the nether and they turn around, gee, would you look at that? What in tarnation is that chest doing there? All dressed up with nowhere to go. And I love how the speedrunner is like looking around as if, oh, what's this chest doing here? They open it up. There is a potion of fire resistance, a single ender pearl, and 192 blaze spawn eggs. You know, could just be me, but maybe you only needed, oh, I don't know, 5, maybe 6, not 192. The speedrunner consumes their potion of fire resistance. They use a single blaze spawn egg, getting 1 blaze rod. So they put their crafting table down, turning their blaze rod into blaze powder, and they create an Eye of Ender. So naturally, the speedrun is gonna return to the overworld and wait, why are they not going to the portal? Yeah, they walk up this hill, and on the top of this hill, do you notice what is wrong here on the screen? Yep, in the nether, hanging out out in a ditch is an 11-eye end portal. And how convenient the speedrunner has a single eye of ender to fill the portal with. Good for them. So the speedrunner consumes their raw chicken, they fill the portal with their single eye, eating more raw meat, and they enter the end. And in world record time, the speedrunner is in the end, heading towards the middle of the end island. Wait, why are they just standing there? Yeah, I'm not sure why, but they just sit there wasting time for a few seconds. Was there a cut? I don't know. But hang on a second, did you see what just happened here? Take another look. Yeah, that's right. There was a very sudden cut in the speedrun footage. Now, what happened here, we're gonna find out very soon. Well, the speedrunner begins building some of these obelisks with the goal of destroying the end crystals. Unfortunately, they take so much damage. Then there is another sudden cut where it very clearly says set own game mode to survival. The speedrunner has 64 cooked pork chops. What a load of baloney. And just like that, in a single hit, the speedrunner wipes out the Ender Dragon, beating the game in world record time. Now, there's not a timer on this speedrun, but the actual video length is 4 minutes and 20 seconds. What an achievement. This speedrun, there is a lot wrong here. They spawn right in a village. How convenient. And in the distance, that house ahead, that door is open. Could that really happen as soon as they spawn in? Let's find out. The speedrunner begins doing what they know best, speedrunning. They're shaking their screen around, and then they begin breaking this block. Nope, never mind. They walk away. The speedrunner finds a blacksmith house, entering it, opening this chest, and inside, like every other fake speedrunner in the entire universe, they find completely unbelievable loot. Iron, diamonds, bread, in your dreams, buddy. The speedrunner wastes a lot of time taking the diamond sword, the diamonds, the iron boots, the iron helmet, the iron chest plate. Then they waste even more time equipping it. Let's get this show on the road. Nope, hang on a second here. Something important is happening. The speedrunner walks away from the blacksmith house, approaching another villager house. And I'm just gonna freeze frame here. Tell me if you can tell what is wrong. It's staring you right in the face. There are 3 cauldrons outside of this villager house, completely filled with water. And I hate to break it to you, but no, that is not the newest update. So the speedrunner enters the house, opening up the chest, and it's as weird as you could possibly imagine. A leather helmet, 4 loaves of bread, 10 sticks, 19 end portal frames, and a partridge in a pear tree. And I wish there was audio to this speedrun because I'm sure this goofball is screaming at the top of their lungs right now, making a big hullabaloo about nothing. Anyways, it's at this point when the speedrunner actually begins breaking wood. So they get a log, they turn it into planks, they make a crafting table, and they begin crafting a diamond pickaxe. Totally legit. The speedrunner then approaches this well, and well, I don't know what they are doing. They jump down, revealing a hole that goes deeper than the usual 2x2 structure of a well. They swim down, the video quality is so low. Are they going up or are they going down at this point? I don't know. Eventually, they do hit the bottom, and well, would you look at that. Diamond ore. How convenient. But hold your breath, this very well could be legitimate. The speedrunner very quickly runs out of air. Then they're desperately trying to swim into this hole, and they do before they die. The material beneath them, I'm 99% sure that's sponge. How did that get down there? I don't know. The speedrunner goes back into the water, they mine diamond ore, they go back to the sponge to get some air, they go back into the water to mine diamond ore, they start mining the coal, then they go back to the sponge and then just sit there for a really long time. What are you doing? Did you take a potty break? Then all of a sudden they're back, they're actually speedrunning now, and they swim back to the surface. The point of this, I don't know, and I'm scared to find out what it is. Finally, at the top of the well, the speedrunner struggles to break the cobblestone in front of them, but they do end up breaking that block and they get out, and everything seems normal. Nothing seems different yet, and I'm genuinely not sure what they're doing. The speedrunner returns back to that goofy villager house that is not legitimate. They open up the chest, nothing is in there unusual, it's just bread. But let's watch this clip in silence and tell me if you notice what happens here. Yeah, that's right. The speedrunner opens up their inventory with their Windows cursor being revealed, which leads me to believe that they windowed out. It's all gonna make sense in a few seconds. The speedrun begins running again, and they end up approaching another villager house that looks basically identical. 3 cauldrons and 2 torches outside. Now I'm beginning to think, am I just stupid and are these real villager houses? They open the door, they close it by accident. What in tarnation? They open it again, opening the chest in front of them. You know, it's got some leather boots, some leather leggings, 2 pieces of bread, 18 blaze rods. Yeah, this is very clearly not legitimate. Well, at this point, the speedrunner begins walking into all these random villager houses, opening their doors until they get to this 3rd villager house, and it's very clear what they were looking for was a chest. They try to go to sleep by accident until the final right click, they open up this chest, and it's exactly what they were looking for. 32 ender pearls. And come on, even my grandma knows that M portal frames, blaze rods, and ender pearls do not spawn in villager chests. Well, the speedrunner goes to sleep holding their blaze rod and typing W. I am so confused. They then wake up attempting to build eyes of ender. Oh brother, they don't know how to make blaze powder. This is just sad. The speedrunner swaps the ender pearls with the blaze rods. That's not it either. Until they by accident discover, oh okay, that's how you make blaze powder. And like a true professional speedrunner, they create 34 blaze powders. Just so much more than you would actually need. They make their eyes of ender and then they are on their merry way. Nope, never mind, just kidding. The speedrunner starts typing in the chat a /give command to give them 22 enchanted golden apples. And oh brother, this guy stinks. You have spent 5 minutes being a goofball trying to hide the fact that you're cheating, doing a terrible job, and then you just give up and shamelessly do a /give command. Why am I not surprised? From this point onwards, the speedrunner eats 2 of those enchanted golden apples, and then they waste a whole minute just aimlessly walking around in circles. Buddy, are you okay? They then proceed to build the end portal. Nope, never mind. I never thought I'd say something like this, but this guy is so bad that they need a tutorial on how to play in creative mode. Do you not know how to build an end portal? The speedrunner fills the portal with eyes just about as slow as a snail, and they enter the end. At which point they start typing even more nonsense /game mode creative. Yeah, that's right. The speedrunner is shamelessly in creative mode now, which begs the question, how is there 10 more minutes of this speedrun? You'd think that they would just do a /kill command and be on their merry way, get that world record, make your mother proud. But nope, we're about to find out how he wasted 10 whole minutes in creative mode. Well, at first, everything is exactly how you'd expect it to be. The speedrunner is floating around, struggling to break these end crystals until they give themselves a bed. And yeah, they just start throwing beds all over the place here. They right-click on the bed while the dragon is perching, and it literally does nothing. What a fail. But you know what? This fake speedrunner is not a quitter. They put even more beds down this time. And hang on a second, what are they doing? While they are waiting for the dragon to perch, they are enchanting their diamond sword with sharpness 5. So naturally, the speedrunner goes floating up into the sky, trying to hit the dragon. It is just not working. By some miracle, the dragon begins perching again. The speedrunner ignites all of those beds, and it does nothing. This is just hilarious. Even with sharpness 5, the speedrunner barely does a dent on the dragon. The dragon flies away. And you know what? 3rd time's a charm. They put even more beds down. The speedrunner ignites those beds. It does nothing again. They are getting so desperate that they start typing a /kill command. Wait a second, that's their username. Hold up, are they about to end themselves? Nope, never mind. They delete their username, typing entity. That is not how to do it, buddy. Then they end up entering the command /kill ender dragon, which again is not how to cheat. The command comes back with an error. Unfortunately, the 3rd time is not a charm. The speedrunner gets desperate. They are just throwing beds everywhere. They're exploding. I can only imagine what the audio to this speedrun is like. Unfortunately, there was no audio with the video. I think they've just given up now. Nope, never mind. They are putting more beds down. This dude has not learned that this is not the way. They right-click on the beds, and it actually does do a substantial amount of damage, but unfortunately not enough. I don't know what in the world this goober is doing. They give themselves a redstone torch and TNT. Unfortunately though, before the dragon can even perch, the TNT catches on fire. It ignites. Their plan is ruined. They put another bed down. Oh brother, have you not learned your lesson? The speedrunner spends all of this time putting these beds back down down, and they explode them again by accident. I don't know when this madness is gonna end. They put more TNT down. The dragon perches. They have the redstone torch in their hand, and they just never ignite the TNT. This is just painful. The speedrunner has created the ultimate dragon killer, a Nader 3000. If that doesn't look like it's gonna kill a dragon, I don't know what will. They put a redstone torch in the top just for good luck. That's not gonna do anything. The speedrunner ignites those TNT blocks, and it does nothing. This is so sad. The speedrunner makes the same structure. The dragon perches, they ignite the TNT, and I kid you not, it ignites 1 second too late. They put more TNT down. The dragon perches, and it's got like 1 HP left. It looks like they're trying to give themselves something in creative, a name tag, an iron hoe, a fishing rod. He is desperate, but they eventually just give themselves a bow with no arrows, and somehow they're able to use the bow with no arrows, and they kill the dragon. The speedrunner presses escape. They're on the pause menu, and this world record attempt ends without them even going into the portal. So technically, they didn't even beat the game. All right, let's move on. This speedrun, oh brother, you are in for a treat. Their Minecraft skin is a sheep with sunglasses and a businessman suit. Who is this, Jay Schlatt playing? Their timer is literally humongous. It is a monstrosity on the screen, and they have a stick. This is very promising. Right off the bat, the speedrunner goes up to a tree, they break it, getting 1 oak log, then they make a crafting table and they put it down. But as soon as they put that crafting table down, it says set on game mode to survival. And when they turn around, there's just 256 oak logs hanging out behind them. How convenient. So the speedrunner makes a wooden pickaxe and a wooden sword, and now they're just in creative mode, literally floating around. And then if I go frame by frame, their timer just jumps up by 15 seconds for no particular reason. And then directly after that, there is a sudden cut where they're just in front of a village. So what I think they were doing is that their timer is actually a video that they're cutting, but they just didn't make the cuts at the same time. I don't know. So the speedrunner suddenly puts themselves back into survival mode after by accident taking 2 screenshots. Then they go into this villager house. And of course, there is another cut. Guys, I know this speedrun is fake, but the end of it is just so ridiculous I had to show it to you. Yeah, in the chest, there's full netherite armor, full netherite tools, whoop-de-doo-dah. The speedrunner is then just in spectator mode. Oh my goodness, do you have no shame? They put themselves into survival mode, then they're in creative mode, and then yeah, the speedrunner says they found this really cool glitch where you're able to find nether portals instantly.
But I found this really cool glitch. It allows you to basically find nether portals like almost instantly.
That is followed by a very sudden cut where they just built a nether portal in front of them and lit it. Yeah, what a cool glitch, buddy. So the speedrunner is now in the nether, at which point the speedrunner begins typing a /locate command, followed by another sudden cut. The chat log says that they were teleported to these coordinates. They're in front of a nether fortress now, but honestly, this speedrunner's video recording software is so bad, it is so dark, you cannot see a single thing. In a nutshell, the speedrunner whacks at 2 blaze rods in creative mode. There's another cut, and then they just drop a bunch of blaze rods in creative mode. I mean, this is just so shamelessly fake. But wait until you see the end. The speedrunner uses a /give command to give themselves Eyes of Ender. The speedrunner is still in creative mode. They are building a nether portal. This guy does not understand what a rectangle is, like many other fake speedrunners. Buddy, that is a square. When the speedrunner returns to the overworld, they find themselves in the same forest that Herobrine might inhabit. What in tarnation? This speedrunner is 5 minutes into their run, and a professional speedrunner would have probably beaten the game by now. But this goofy goober is locating the stronghold with commands and teleporting themselves to it. They are in spectator mode, and they are still unable to find the portal room. This is just so hilarious. So they fill the portal with eyes. I am honestly not surprised that they haven't died in creative mode yet. This guy would probably find a way to do that. Well, when in the end, the speedrunner has the F3 screen plastered all over their video, on top of their monstrosity of a timer. And underneath all of that garbage, you can see a lot of TNT. Yeah, this goober spawned in 22,000 blocks of TNT, nearly crashing their computer, and they still did not kill the Ender Dragon. And yeah, just like that, the speedrunner beat the game in a world record. Well, hang on a second. Their timer stopped at 9 minutes and 12 seconds, but they did not enter the portal yet. Then their game freezes, and you can hear the speedrunner say this.
Wait, what's going on?
Yeah, there is a flash of light. The speedrunner's timer is gone, and they have been brought to the dark dimension to face off with Dormammu. I don't know what is happening here. Nope, never mind. That's not Dormammu, that is the speedrun master, and this terrifying entity decides whether or not speedruns are legitimate. Yeah, well, the speedrun master deemed this speedrun fake, and I guess the speedrunner will not be able to escape their fate, which is being banished to eternal torture. Yeah, the speedrunner literally wakes up in a prison cell with skull and bones, and when they turn around, it's just a video of a cat bobbing his head back and forth. I guess if you don't like cats, that's considered torture? I don't know. Anyways, I just thought this one was ridiculously goofy, so I wanted to show it to you. This speedrun, before I even click play, I'm just gonna let you listen to the intro because it is ridiculous.
Yo guys, we're gonna speedrun Minecraft today with 100% legit, not cheats. Let's go. Oh my.
Yeah, there's a lot I could comment on. This guy is using a toaster oven for a microphone, but they do create their new world in survival mode and everything is looking legitimate. Unfortunately though, their world creation loads unusually quickly, and you can tell it's fake because it was so quick. They're already level 7 and they are selecting the 3rd slot on their hotbar. Totally legitimate. And you know what? Before I even say anything, the speedrunner turns around and just listen to their ridiculous reaction. Yeah, I am just as confused as you are. The speedrunner turns around and they find the Titanic, which I guess is a new feature. So the speedrunner breaks this tree, they get 1 birch log, they turn it into planks and get 4 sticks and 2 buttons. I don't know why. The speedrunner goes back to break another log, they turn it into more planks, and you can see that they put their extra button on the Titanic. I am so confused. The speedrunner uses all of their planks to attempt climbing up to the top of this ship. Unfortunately, they are not really good at doing anything. So they go back and break more wood. They put that log down and finally they are breaking into this new Minecraft structure. I am so excited to see what it's all about. And like anyone would expect with the Titanic, there is water at the bottom of it and a chest hidden in the water. Inside that chest, the most ridiculous items you could possibly imagine.
Oh my gosh, guys! Look at all this loot!
Yeah, after that ridiculous reaction, there is a sudden cut, and I guess the Titanic structure has an enchantment table in it, too. Well, this speedrunner is making so much progress. They've got really everything they need except for blaze rods. And you might ask, well, what's next? Just watch this next clip. It is so goofy.
All we need to do is make it so that—
Yeah, that's right. This speedrunner's reactions are so hilarious. They get up to the top of the ship, and in the distance, I'm pretty sure what they saw was a nether portal. How lucky. Nope, never mind. Hang on. Is this supposed to be some sort of wish.com desert temple? I am pretty sure chests do not spawn underneath the ground like this. Like, someone fact check me, but I'm 99% sure this is not legitimate. The speedrunner finds this goofy structure with chests at the bottom. They jump down, and even more ridiculous items in the chests. You are not fooling anybody. Obsidian, 60 flint, 17 iron ingots, bedrock. What in tarnation? Who even needs 64 flint?
Okay, now we just need to bridge out of here. How many more blocks is— Alright guys.
Yeah, that's right. This goofy speedrunner trapped himself underground with bedrock. But don't worry, luckily they're able to break the walls through and escape. And as soon as the fake speedrunner exits this goofy wish.com fake structure, they find a nether portal. And hang on a second, did you see what else there was in the corner there? Yeah, that is an end portal, very crappily covered by bedrock. This is just so embarrassingly sad. And oh my goodness, the nether portal has an extra obsidian block on the top right. I should honestly just start selling worst cheater ever awards. And things just continue to get worse. The speedrunner jumps into this goofy nether portal. What is the structure that is directly ahead of them? Is that supposed to be a villager house? The speedrunner spawns into the nether. Immediately in front of them is a chest. This is just not possible. And inside the chest, whoop-de-doo-dah, I am not surprised. End portal frames and blaze rods. Like they even need the end portal frames. When is my misery gonna be over? They return to the overworld and just listen to what they say in response to whatever in the world this structure is in front of them.
Alright guys, so we're almost to the net. No way guys, I think this is a village house.
Yeah, the speedrunner found, and I'm air quoting, the village house. They enter this literal 2x2 hut, opening the chest, and wow, would you look at that, 9 beds. How convenient. So the speedrunner makes blaze powder, they make the eyes of Ender, and their reaction to making them is just so funny.
With my new ender pearls.
I am so beyond confused. The speedrunner begins creating an end portal, even though just a moment ago we saw an end portal covered by bedrock. Will that mystery ever be uncovered? I don't know. You're gonna have to watch to find out. Yep, wait a second. It's literally a completed end portal in the corner of the screen.
Build the nether portal. Wait, I don't get it, guys. It should have worked by now.
Yeah, I kid you not. There was a sudden cut and the speedrunner created this abomination. I don't know what incarnation they were trying to do here. I guess they try again, even though directly in front of them are multiple end portals that are completely filled and ready to go. I have no words. So the speedrunner has entered the end, even though they say we made it to the nether.
Yo, guys, we did it. We made it into the nether.
I don't think I've ever seen anything more cursed than this. They are building up using bookshelf blocks. These next few moments, I could not commentate it even if I tried to. The speedrunner is clearly having a difficult time killing the Ender Dragon. And then I'm not even gonna say a peep. Just watch these next few moments. It is hilarious.
You know what? Screw this. I don't care. Oh my gosh, guys, we just killed the Ender Dragon. Holy cow, look at us. Now all we need to do is just quickly escape the end because about this portal that we just constructed. Just to make sure I don't die when I'm escaping it, I'm gonna go ahead and sleep. What was that, guys? No!
If someone can explain to me in the comments what in the world I just watched, I would really appreciate it. Thanks. This speedrun, holy cow. What is with fake speedrunners and having clinking pots and pans in the background? We can see their most recent save files on the screen, and nothing is looking unusual here. Main survival world, 1 block series, my world. Just a wholesome dude playing Minecraft. Gee, I hope he doesn't fake this speedrun.
Joining another Minecraft speedrun. I think we're gonna beat our last time.
How wholesome and oddly relaxing. Their world loads in, and come on, something is just a little fishy here. They are level 38. And where in tarnation did they spawn in? Well, this has got to be a new structure.
But why did I spawn here? Why is there netherite blocks here?
The speedrunner's acting is just so goofy. Yeah, that's right. The speedrunner opens up this chest, and inside they find a single diamond pickaxe and 64 sticks. How subtle.
Oh my god, that's a 0.000000001% chance.
The speedrunner then proceeds to waste so much time trying to break these netherite blocks. If this were a speedrun to wasting as much time as possible, this guy succeeded. They begin climbing up this ladder. Come to find out, the ladder literally looks like that one scene from Metal Gear Solid 3. It is infinite.
On a speed run, I'm not gonna beat it.
Yeah, buddy, you're not gonna beat the record time because you're literally cheating at a Minecraft speedrun, and you chose to make the world's longest ladder. This is just embarrassing. Hallelujah, the speedrunner has emerged onto the surface level. I bet they're feeling like Gollum being exposed to sunshine for the first time in 100 years. And hang on a second, freeze frame the video. Do you notice what is wrong on the screen right now? Look, unless this is a new feature of Minecraft, I don't remember birch logs just hanging out on the ground alone. Where did the rest of the tree go? Well, the speedrunner breaks one of these trees, getting a single birch log, turning that into planks and making a crafting table. And at this point, I am so genuinely confused because the speedrunner attempts making a netherite shovel, but it literally does not work. And they are very confused.
Me netherite.
If someone can fill me in on this mystery as to why they are unable to make netherite tools, I would really appreciate it. Well, the speedrunner decides that they just don't need netherite tools anymore. So all of the speedrun prior to this point was just a huge waste of time.
Whatever, I don't need it. I just have the greatest luck of all time. I already know it.
Greatest luck of all time? Oh, brother. You are gonna need a miracle to catch up on this speedrun. That's all I'm saying. Well, at this point, if you haven't already noticed, it's very obvious obvious that the speedrunner is following this trail of single birch logs hanging out on the ground, which ends up leading to a single chest that just has leather boots inside of it. What in tarnation? How is this the luckiest speedrun of all time? Is this even a fake speedrun? I am so confused. What are leather boots gonna do for you, buddy? And why are they so excited about leather boots?
That's a 0.0000001% chance. Now I can walk on powdered snow.
But the luck does not stop here. The speedrunner continues to follow this goofy trail of blocks, which I kid you not, you're not gonna expect the next few moments. They literally run into an end tree.
Fight the end. That's a 0.1% chance. That's the ender tree.
What an ender tree would do for this speedrunner, I could not tell you. But as soon as they reach this magical, mystical tree, they begin digging down, straight down, which is usually a bad idea. Oh, brother. They waste just as much time digging down as they did crawling up that ladder. 59 whole blocks dug down later. Let's just pause the video on this frame and take a wild guess as to what the end tree actually did for them. Yeah, that's right. A completed end portal directly beneath them. How convenient. So this in the world.
Oh my god! That's a 0.0000001% chance. It's a free ticket to win.
Yeah, that is right. The speedrunner literally finds the world's newest Minecraft end structure, the Coney Island end roller coaster. They drop into the end game portal. The dragon is not here. It does not even work. But after a few seconds, they do find a way to enter the portal, beating the game in world record time. How impressive. This speedrunner spawns into their world and everything is looking very normal, although they do not have a timer. Nope, hang on a second, the timer just appeared on screen out of thin air. Good for them. The speedrunner spawns right in front of a village. Very, very lucky. They enter a blacksmith house, opening the chest inside, and holy cannoli, boy, do they get lucky. Apples, 2 diamonds, an iron pickaxe, bread, iron armor. It's Christmas. So they equip their armor, finding another villager house, getting loot that definitely doesn't seem normal or legitimate. A bunch of random wooden planks, bread, and a sign. Okay, hang on a second. Why is that sign called nuclear airstrike? You're gonna find out soon, I promise. Well, the speedrunner makes a crafting table, putting it down. They make a diamond sword. They collect some hay. Yeah, well, this is exactly the last thing I was ever expecting in a fake Minecraft speedrun. The speedrunner literally finds a Taylor Swift concert.
Is that what I think it is? No way. Oh my gosh. It's a Taylor Swift concert. Well, I've been waiting for this day my whole life.
I'm so genuinely confused. That's when the speedrunner gets their nuclear airstrike sign, putting it down. They enter the nuclear launch code. The screen is shaking, knees weak, arms are heavy. What in tarnation just happened? I kid you not, the speedrunner used an airstrike on the concert. I'm not even gonna commentate what just happened. I like my YouTube channel unbanned. In the aftermath, there are water buckets and lava buckets as far as the eye can see. Nope, never mind. The lava bucket is labeled pumpkin spice latte, and the water bucket is labeled Stanley.
What the heck is that? Pumpkin spice latte? Stanley? Oh my gosh, well, what did I expect if I was nuking a Taylor Swift concert?
The speedrunner then uses their newly found materials to create a nether portal, even though the footage is sped up, but the timer is going at a normal pace. And I know this speedrun is so horribly fake, but I just have to point out, where did they get that flint and steel in their hotbar? Even if that one question was answered, that would be great. So the nether portal is lit, they are entering the nether. The speedrunner spawns directly underneath a nether fortress. How lucky. The footage is once again sped up, and there was a very convenient staircase built into the nether fortress. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is not legitimate. The speedrunner finds a chest in this nether fortress. Things are actually looking legitimate here. Some gold ingots, diamond horse armor, flint and steel.
I feel like the blaze spawner should be just up this way. Not that I actually know where it's at.
Yeah, that's right. After a very suspicious comment, the speedrunner makes their way directly to the blaze spawner. Totally legit. The speedrunner's footage is once again sped up, but with no luck. On the last possible frame of this sped up sequence, they only get 1 blaze rod. How sad. Until there is a very sudden cut. You can see it says set own game mode to survival, and suddenly the speedrunner has 13 blaze rods. What a shameless faker. Well, the footage is sped up again. Why are they going back to their nether portal? They didn't get any ender pearls. Things just get worse. I feel like every time I review a speedrun, I hear myself saying this has got to be the worst thing I have ever reviewed. Yes, you are not hallucinating. That is a casino.
Casino? When did that go up? Let's have a little bit of extra gold. Might as well go gamble a little bit.
My brain is slowly rotting. At a world record 4 minutes, this speedrunner is literally gambling. This was not on my bingo card today. What sort of goofy Walmart great value roleplay series skit is this? The speedrunner's casino is out of order. The slot machine is out of order. They steal the ender pearls from the slot machine. The iron golems are chasing them. And then like a Michael Bay movie, they blow up the casino in the background. What a fever dream of a speedrun.
One thing I realized that I need more of in my videos are explosions. Done.
The speedrunner then creates their Eyes of Ender, throwing one of them, and naturally they go in that direction. At this point though, there is a very sudden cut. Then the speedrunner begins digging directly beneath them. I'm sorry, but 5 minutes into your real speedrun, and you're just now getting the Stone Age advancement? What a load of barnacles. There is another shameless cut. The speedrunner falls right into the stronghold, right outside of the portal room. Do you think we just blew in from Stupid Town?
Nope, and I hear a zombie. Easy clap, and I hear one of those boner monsters.
I'm sorry, did he just call a skeleton a what? These completely out of pockets do not stop here.
Stupid bugs. Stop touching me. Who do you think you are, EDP or something?
Yeah, while this guy is filling the end portal with eyes, he is just spewing crazy, wackadoodle out of pocket statements. Well, anyways, the speedrunner enters the end. They dig up onto the surface of the end island, and come on, it looks like Bob Ross ran his paintbrush across the screen, connecting one island from another. Totally legit. Oh, I am face palming. Things just get so much worse. The speedrunner turns around and they find...
Oh my gosh! Is that Giga Chad? He just gave me steroids! Oh my gosh, thank you, Giga Chad!
The speedrunner is in a wild and vicious fight with the Ender Dragon. Wait, hang on. Where is the Ender Dragon's health bar? Well, it doesn't matter. The speedrunner one-shots the dragon. Their timer begins going backwards, but the portal doesn't work. So the speedrunner opens up the chat box, revealing a whole load of malarkey. Their friend in the chat saying, wrong, we follow, wait, redo, oh gotcha, when's right time? I cannot believe this. This speedrun was fake? Their friend was helping them? Oh my goodness. Yeah, the speedrunner slash kill commands themselves. I guess they beat the game in 2 minutes and 28 seconds. I need an ice pack. This speedrun is very suspicious because not only are they doing like a YouTuber intro before the speedrun begins, but they are also speaking in a foreign language. It might be Hindi, I do not know. Well, as soon as they go into first person mode, I guess the speedrun begins. And right off the bat, come on. The grass block beneath this tree is looking very suspicious. They head towards the tree, beginning to break this block, and tell me if you notice what just happens here. Yeah, if we go frame by frame, there is a very sudden cut where the tree drops one block, and after the cut, they suddenly get 65 oak blocks. How convenient. The speedrunner uses these oak blocks to produce planks, making a crafting table, making a wooden pickaxe, and after a very sudden cut, they're in a completely different location mining this stone. And again, tell me if you notice what happens here.
Guys, मैंने यहाँ पे स्टोन को माइन कर लिया है. तो मैंने स्टोन को माइन किया.
Yeah, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that there was a sudden cut here. And you know what? Maybe it was just a little bit of lag, because that stone block not only dropped one cobblestone, but also 64 iron ingots. And this speedrun continues to get even more confusing because the speedrunner puts a crafting table down. They begin crafting armor and equipment, but out of nowhere, there is this ridiculous clown circus music playing in the background. I mean, just blasting. I am warning you, headphone users. And I hope I don't get copyright claimed. Just like that, out of nowhere, the music is cut. We're in a completely different location. The speedrunner approaches this sheet. Tell me if you notice what happens here. Yeah, again, we do not need to hire an analyst to figure out that there was a sudden cut. And I'm sorry, but does this goofball really expect us to believe that a single sheep dropped 64 cooked mutton? There are more cuts. The speedrunner approaches the ocean. They fill their bucket with water. This baloney head spends like 5 seconds trying to jump up a block. They're unable to do it. It is just embarrassing. But when they finally get up onto that block, in the distance, we can see a lit nether portal appear out of thin air, but it is not even the correct size. I don't know what it is. It's just a staple of fake Minecraft speedrunners. They don't understand the correct shape of a nether portal. Well, they enter the nether. They spawn directly in a nether fortress, but there are just oak planks blocking the hallway. And gee, I wonder who put those oak planks down. So they break the wall down, entering the rest of the hallway, and would you look at that, it's a blaze with no blaze spawner seen anywhere near them. So the speedrunner kills the blaze, it drops one blaze rod. There is a sudden cut, and then they enter their inventory, revealing that they just miraculously have 64 blaze rods in the rest of their inventory. Things just get so much worse. I know that's bad news, but it gets worse. They are suddenly defending themselves from a wither skeleton. Wait a second, why are they turning around? Oh yeah, that's why. Ender pearls just appeared out of thin air behind them. Yep, I think I just missed a few updates. I kid you not, the next cut, the speedrunner is just in the overworld. They throw their Eye of Ender. There is another cut. They're doing their YouTuber intro again. Where this guy is, I don't know. It's like he's vlogging from a desolate cave. They dig down one block. There's another cut. They're suddenly in the end. They're doing the YouTuber intro again. This is just ridiculous. Tell me if you notice this next series of events. Yeah, that's right. If we go frame by frame, you can just barely tell that it says set own game mode to survival mode. They open their inventory. It is full of beds. And hang on a second, I could be mistaken, but the dragon is right in front of them, but there is no health bar on the screen. What in tarnation? The speedrunner attempts hurting the dragon. They get tossed into the sky. Somehow they do not die. Nope, never mind. I take it back. They put a bed down directly in front of them, right click on it, and just end their life in the game. And I'm not really sure what happens here because they click respawn and then they just give up. Yeah, the speedrun is over just like that. I have no idea what I just witnessed. This speedrun, I am very scared. They load into their world and the beginning was very clearly cut. Yeah, sure, they're in survival mode. Nothing is going on unusual with their hotbar, but they spawn directly in front of a desert temple and they are not looking straight ahead. On top of that, they walk a whole 5 seconds and out of thin air, a 3-minute countdown timer just appears on their screen. Buddy, I hate to break it to you, but for a speedrun, you need a stopwatch, not a timer. The speedrunner enters the desert temple. They dig down, and while they are falling down, their game freezes, but the timer is still going. The speedrunner opens up the chests at the bottom, and everything is looking very, very normal, so I am thoroughly surprised. They take some string, they take some rotten flesh, some bones. The speedrunner breaks the pressure plate, breaks the block beneath them. Hang on a second though, what is going on here? Usually at the bottom of a desert temple, there's, I don't know, TNT. I'm sorry, but this is not TNT. What in the world? Ah, yes, okay. It looks like the speedrunner went in here in creative mode, putting shulker boxes at the bottom and cut it out of their speedrun footage. This is so blatantly fake. A helmet called hat, a chest plate called merch, boots called boots, and a elytra called wings with a Z. The shield is called the Blocker 9000. What? It just gets so much worse. This crossbow is called Blaster. I am not even gonna say what the sword is. The pickaxe is called Fast Man. The speedrunner hovers over one of these shulker boxes called Tools, and inside, we thunder try Fast Man, and I am not even going to say that last one out loud. Out of nowhere, there is a very sudden cut. It's very obvious that the speedrunner applied the flame enchantment to their bow, so they shoot their bow and arrow at the TNT. It's like they think they're in a Michael Bay directed movie. They're gonna fly out of here with explosions in the background, but unfortunately, the speedrunner is not skilled enough to use elytra and rockets. They are struggling to exit the desert temple. It is hilarious. After the speedrunner accepts defeat, they enter like a regular normal person through the front door. But hang on a second. The speedrunner is flying in the air. They suddenly fall onto the ground right in front of what? Right in front of a new structure. And I know you can't see me, but I am air quoting. Yeah, that's right. This is just purely ridiculous. There is a sign on top of a command block that says, "Press for free Minecraft girlfriend." I'm sorry, but who is taking the time to make up this nonsense? And you cannot make up these next few moments. I'm not even gonna say anything, just watch what happens.
Which button do I press though? I think it's this one.
Please, Ulu.
Oh no!
I would really like my Starbucks gift card.
At this point, I have even more questions. The speedrunner only has 1 minute left on their countdown timer, so the speedrun footage goes into hyperdrive, and the only way we're going to analyze this nonsense is by going frame by frame. There is a sudden cut. They're in the middle of nowhere with obsidian blocks on the ground in front of them. So it appears as if the speedrunner begins creating a nether portal. Nope, never mind. They failed at doing that. This is just an abomination. So they try and create another one, lighting it, but unfortunately they couldn't do that either. So the speedrunner fixes that second nether portal, filling it in, lighting it, and entering the nether. And hang on a second, I just noticed now, is there flint and steel called arson? So before we even get a load screen, there is no load screen. The speedrun footage says that the speedrunner teleported 6 entities. They set their game mode to survival. They're suddenly finding themselves in a bastion with this ridiculous floating golden structure in front of them. None of this is real. This is a fake speedrun, and it is to the extreme. And you know what? Just to listen to what this goofball says.
Whoa, is that the new Piglin golden float structure?
Yeah, did they just say, is that the new Piglin golden float structure? Dude, you couldn't have, oh, I don't know, made up a better name for this fake structure? The speedrun goes into hyperdrive yet again. They create 64 golden ingots, tossing them at the piglins to trade. Nope, never mind. They just go into creative mode and they're giving themselves Eyes of Ender now. And an end portal frame, come on. The speedrunner goes back into survival mode. Then they end up slaughtering the piglins. And just like that, I guess they're creating the end portal. This is one of the most cursed speedruns I have ever reviewed. Well, just like that, the speedrunner fills the portal with eyes. They enter the end. And I'm not really sure what happens here because there's another sudden cut, but I think the speedrunner made an editing error and they're just playing footage from the previous few moments. We're going at 1,000 frames per second right now. The speedrunner has a single heart. They're floating in the air, breaking the end crystals. It looks like they die by accident and they have to use a totem of undying to come back to life. They start typing a /kill command. This is just embarrassing. Yeah, they literally use a command to break the end crystals. That is a new level of lazy. And after getting the dragon's health down to smithereens, you can see that the speedrunner has the worst aim ever. They are just missing every single shot. By some miracle though, they do defeat the dragon. Their timer goes down to 0 seconds, even though they didn't enter the end portal yet. And just like that, the speedrun is over. What in tarnation did I just witness? What is with fake speedrunners and having the goofiest, most bootleg looking timers and the silliest, most gigantic video editor watermarks slapped onto their screen? Aside from that, everything here is looking very legitimate, even though this is a tablet speedrun. Get me out of here. The speedrunner is looking straight down, their run begins, and they begin breaking this tree. And wow, good for them. They actually know how to use a touchscreen. Nope, never mind. I take it back. They are climbing up this hill, and they by accident place an oak log down in front of them. Whoops. So the speedrunner takes these oak logs, they turn it into 12 planks, and they make a crafting table. The speedrunner puts their crafting table down, making some sticks. They make a wooden pickaxe, and they attempt to use it to break a tree. Weird, but okay. From this point onwards, I have no idea what sort of mystical arts this speedrunner is practicing. They begin digging down in a completely random area, and then they just walk away. The speedrunner kills a sheep, getting some wool. They kill a cow. They pause their game, then they pause it again, and then they pause it again. Then they pause it again, and again. And another time. They are just trying to break this crafting table, and they pause the game again. Then they start breaking this dirt, and they pause the game again. And then they do it another time. I have lost track. They are just repeatedly pausing their game. And finally, by some miracle, they break the crafting table and pick it up. Hallelujah. And then they begin mining this stone. And would you look at that? They are not pausing the game. Good for them. They're making progress. I'm not really sure what the speedrunner's goal is here because they break a lot of stone, killing another cow. And then, hang on a second. Did you just see that? It was for a split second. Rewind the video if you have to. Yeah, the speedrun footage is very blurry here, but there is some sort sort of new structure in the distance past this wandering trader. And if you keep watching, I guarantee we're gonna figure out what it is in just a moment. The speedrunner begins breaking more wood, more dirt, like they need anymore. They start attacking the wandering trader, pushing him into the ocean, and then they just break more trees down. Buddy, I think you have enough trees. They go back to the wandering trader, killing one of the llamas, and now I realize I think their screen is so small that they were genuinely just trying to trade with the wandering trader. It doesn't matter though, because they don't have any emeralds. And that's when the speedrunner turns around and we catch sight of whatever incarnation this new structure is. Unfortunately, this speedrun does not have audio, but I can imagine it is like some screaming goofball having a freak out. They go down an aisle of roses. At the end is a chest with a sign that says the speedrunner's gift. Wow, how nice of Minecraft to give him a gift. Oh my goodness, that's so kind. In true speedrunner fashion, they move their screen around going, oh my goodness, opening the chest, and holy cannoli, it must have taken them a full 10 minutes to get all of these items into this chest. And I kid you not, we can fast forward the footage. The speedrunner wastes a whole 2 minutes just trying to organize these items into their inventory. I don't know what they were thinking. They paused the game by accident again, and these next few moments, brace yourself, mentally prepare, because it is truly painful. The speedrunner begins attempting to build a nether portal with their newly found stack of obsidian. Unfortunately though, they are actively being attacked by zombie villagers, so unless a horizontal nether portal is gonna work, this guy is not going to the nether. They kill the zombie villager, attempting to finish their nether portal, but at this point, they are just slapping blocks all over the ground, and by some miracle, it does work. They light the nether portal, and they enter the nether. Nope, never mind. I kid you not, there is a very sudden cut. We are literally in a whole different version of Minecraft. They are now playing on a console. The Ender Dragon's health is so low, and suddenly there's audio to the speedrun now. Hang on a second, I know sometimes I feel like I live under a rock. Are multi-platform speedruns a thing now? Yeah, just like that, the speedrunner kills the Ender Dragon. Their audio sounds like an atomic bomb exploding. And they just never enter the end portal. Which means technically, they didn't even beat the game. Was this speedrun fake? Nope, it was legitimate. Huge shout out to all of our channel members. If you want a shout out at the end of the video like this, and receive other special membership perks, like badges next to your name in the comments, special Ayundaru emojis, and more, click the join button to find out more. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and if you enjoyed it, here's more of my other videos on screen to watch now.